You know, I think I like that a little bit worse. Another day, another disaster. You know, I thought that the VTuber review motto was, it gets worse, but another day, another disaster might actually be a little bit more accurate. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the VTuber review. And my goodness, today's going to be a wild one because we have so much shit to talk about. I was not expecting to do VTuber news this morning. Not at all. I normally do my IRL news, but there was so much shit going on, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
You didn't drink your milk.
Why should I? I hate it.
You're going to be small and stunted forever if you keep using that stupid excuse! Shut up! I don't have to drink it if I don't wanna!
I guess I should address the elephant in the room, chap. Yes, the timer is at 86 hours. Wait, what the fuck is this?
Elara, will you be my side, Valentine?
Why am I getting so close to the screen? What the fuck is this, chat? Dude, I'm just trying to tell you, we're at 86 hours, chat. What the fuck is this? Bro, you can't press that and then make me bald. This is like, okay, honestly, very average stream. Let's be real, chat. The most average stream. Hello, stop gyrating in my face. Are you complaining that a hot lady is gyrating in your face? What's wrong with you, dude? You might... What the fuck?
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Cast bread over every egg. I want to cry. Can't hurt me, Jack.
You're all fucking fired. Everybody in chat, you're fucking fired. Today's already exploding, and we just fucking started, chat. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday, chat. My God, what a crazy week. Even crazier VTuber news, even crazier non-VTuber news. We're going to have a lot to talk about. But, chat, last night I found out about something really fucking wild that we're gonna react to together because I am absolutely fucking blown away, chat. I can't believe I can even say this sentence out loud. The other day, on Death Battle's channel, Death Battle does a live, they do a live stream every once in a while, and it's members only. And so during this members only stream, they talk about all kinds of stuff, right? They just chat about Death Battle, chat about, well, whatever comes to mind, right? Well, at the end, they were talking about people that they like, or people that, you know, work with them. Yeah, Death Battle cast stuff, basically. People that work with them, people that they know, people that they watch, etc., right? And I can't fucking believe this, dude, but they actually mentioned me. I'm like, I'm... Little old me, you talking about me? They actually mentioned me. I'm like, what the fuck? So we're gonna take a look at that today because I was absolutely blown away. John Death Battle watches me. No, but the guy that voices Boomstick, he was like, oh yeah, Laura. I'm like, what the fuck? So we're gonna watch that today. I was absolutely blown away. The Death Battle cast even like took the time to watch one of my reacts. I mean, I was like, that's absolutely crazy, dude. I'm shocked about the Viewbotting situation with Olivia. It was honestly a sweet girl to watch. It ends up being true, it'll be super disappointing. Didn't like how her name was thrown out there so nonchalant, though without any core evidence yet. I will say this, Obsession, kind of looking at it, I'm still a little on the fence, I'm not sure, but I will say there are some signs that I'm kind of like, so we've had a prior story that we talked about with somebody that Viewbotted, right? Now, with this person, it was a lot more blatant. It was a lot more blatant, but you have to be very careful because it could be her, it could be somebody else Viewbotting on her channel, like doing it on her behalf. We don't know. So you have to be very careful with accusations like that, right? I forget that guy. What was his name? Lumiere Grimson or something like that. He ended up, yeah, Lumiere Grimson. He was a Viewbotter. And yeah, it doesn't seem like he's active anymore. Actually, the last time he streamed was 10 months ago, so I assume he's not active anymore. But yeah, he was a Viewbotter that we made a video on. Looks like he eventually gave up. But yeah, he was a lot more blatant with it, right? It was pretty rough. So yeah, that was something that we had talked about in the past, but it was a lot more blatant, right? So with Olivia, I'm just not sure yet, you know. But what do you think of most recent death battle? Oh, I uploaded my react to it. Yeah, it's on my reacts channel. I did not, Thanatos. I did not. I know a certain boob botter elf chick.
A certain boob botter elf chick.
Yeah, let me tell you. Let me tell all those viewers I'm botting chat. Bro, I'm so stupid. I don't even know how to bot my channel. Like, I don't even know how people do it. I mean, I've seen like I saw some lady get caught. We talked about she used some kind of app. But like, legitimately, I don't even know how to bot my channel. Like, oh my God. People bop. Yeah, all you guys are bots anyway. Remember, that's what Twitch thinks. That would actually be wild as fuck. You're not really helping yourself by botting, by the way, guys. You're really not. You pay money, it's not cost efficient. Exactly. People have thoughts and feelings. So I think I bought her channel points. Wait a sec, do we see 85 hours in the time? Yes, you do see 85 hours on the timer. I was doing so
wait,
good.
I got banned for
and then
being
yesterday
a bot
happened.
remember.
And yesterday happened.
So technically.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought because you lost your eyeball, you were going to replace it with a robotic eyeball. I'm a robot, not. Holy shit, dude. I fucked around and I found out. Look, actually, I'll show you guys. We actually beat my all-time sub record yesterday. A level 35 hype train, and Wapper came in and dropped 1,000 sub bomb. Like, it felt like multiple times. I know. I think he ended up gifting like over 2,000 subs. It was actually fucking nuts. But what's shocking about that? Well, why are you all freaking out? He whapped all over us. What's going on? He whapped all over me, dude. I haven't heard anything. Why are there like a million emojis going on? Dude, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. 2,400 something, yeah. 2,200 or whatever, like. What the fuck? Wapper, what the actual fuck, dude? 1,000 gifted subs? Are you serious? I didn't know what to say, 1,000 gifted subs? Wapper! What the fuck? Oh my God. This is where we ended things, chat, right here. On the hype train. Literally, level 35, we beat our all-time hype train goal, so... Our hype train record. So that's kind of what happened yesterday, chat. That's why we have 1 million hours. Oh my God, he dropped a nuke, dude. Absolutely crazy. So, well, there's like 3 weeks worth of time right there, chat. Wapper said the show will go on whether you like it or not. Literally, that's what I'm like. Is he an oil tycoon? Guys, please take care of your finances first. Never feel like you have to give, but holy fucking shit, dude, that's wild as fuck. Absolutely crazy. Well, yeah. Oh, but will we rue this day?
I hereby vow you will rue this day.
Oh, damn. Hey, will he behold you? Oh, wow. Is your name Egon by chance?
Egon.
Whoa. Is he solid of scale? Yeah. Is he have a rotten hide?
Scale you might be.
Oh, he does. He does, chat.
But I will riddle with holes your rotten hide.
Oh, it was a rotten hide. With what?
With a hail of harpoons.
With every last drop of your being.
With every last drop of my being.
He sounds really serious, Chad. I think we should listen to him. I think he's really, really serious. No one is getting that one kid is playing this about ever hits. Lauren has a pay.
No one
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
getting
do
that one
giveaways for
pair
gift
this
cards.
point. If the
Oh
subathon
my
never
God.
ends, Elara never has to pay.
It's true. He always waits until the fucking discounts. He's like, wham, 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 wham. Me for Bill is so good. What else did he do, by the way, Max? I'm not familiar with any of their other work, so I would love to know. Yeah, because I actually have no idea. I was gonna let this in until Lauren made a crazy tier offer. Damn you, Whopper, damn you. I love you, but damn you. Damn you. Welcome to the final day, boys. Yeah, this is the final day of the subathon, chat. Totally. Yeah, I'm gonna go pay off my mortgage for the next 3 years. So, surprisingly, though, we did not Shadow Dragon. We still did not hit the metal bikini outfit one. So, I think you guys like broke my thing though because it just like freaked the fuck out. But we're still a little bit off. That's okay. We'll get there. I believe he's a theater guy. Just made his first V8 thing, and they told him to be more explosive in his words. It's what we got. Holy shit. Oh yes, a bikini metal outfit. Yeah, I mean, we're getting close, actually. Yeah, we're getting close, so... I appreciate you, but damn you! No, bikini outfit, not implants! How the fuck would you get an implant of a bikini? How the fuck would that work, dude? Explain that to me. Absolutely nuts. But today, chat, today's gonna be a little different. Normally VTuber news, I cover a lot of like graduations. I cover, of course, like debuts, all that kind of stuff. Today, I will not be doing that, chat.
Can
yeah,
confirm
thank you, Darth.
Elara does not need implants.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's pretty clear I don't need implants. A bikini with built-in implants, imagine. So today, chat, I'm not going to be covering that kind of stuff. Instead, we are just going to be talking about our big stories, right? We're going to hop straight into it. There's going to be no warm-up with kind of like little light stories here and there. There'll be no corpo news, anything like that, no indie news. We're just going to hop into our main stories, which is about, of course, Powder. We're also going to talk about Jelly making an apology, Demi's accusations against Olivia Monroe. We're also going to talk about Invented graduating. We're going to give a little follow-up on the Celestium stuff. Also talk about Nux Taku. He has actually been called out in a recent video, and it doesn't look good. We'll take a look at that. And then I do some other content creator news I want to talk about. Kind of a follow-up here to the Immerse situation. I'm going to talk about Tectone a little bit after he came back. Talk about the Discord situation with, age verification stuff, the ID verification. So quite a lot to discuss this morning. Like I said, gonna be just all big stories. We're not gonna really be discussing any smaller stories. Although I do have some other things in content creation I do want to talk about, but I will be doing both VTuber and non-VTuber news today, so Indeed is too addicted to Twitter to graduate. I mean, he already started saying stuff back to who was it? There was somebody he was saying something back to, and I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, he's not gonna go away forever. I really don't believe that. Really doing the facial thing on Discord too. Yes, they are. Sorry, my brain was like, like, yes, they are. They are actually doing it. So big news today. Well, Whopper, it does 1 point for every $5. However, that's done. So, I mean, the counter is definitely right. Looks like the boat is finally going minted for real. Well, he says he's gonna graduate, right? But like, I don't think he's gonna stay away. To be honest, like, he's done this before, and like, look, I don't really like minted, but let's be real, guys. Like, he's done this enough times where he's been like, yeah, I'm leaving, I'm coming back, leaving, I'm coming back. I don't think he's gonna go away. Yes, Death Battle acknowledged me, dude. It's crazy. I'm from the UK. We've had age verification for a while. It sucks. It's super invasive. I'm so sorry, Love Zombie. That sounds horrible. got systems in places that most people won't need to do, but it's crappy either way. Yep. Exactly. It really does suck. Really does suck. But yeah, the thing with Invented is he did at least take ownership about the sullen stuff that he said, which is, in my opinion, one of the most egregious things. But he's certainly gone after people that didn't need to be. I mean, remember when he went after me, and then he deleted all the tweets and was like, well, Elara's not the problem. I'm like, yeah, but you kind of already went after me, dude. Like, you had no reason to do that. Yeah, again, yes, they are, they, them. God, thank you, Nid. I keep forgetting. Like, I don't know why. I just gotta, like, impress that into my brain. But yeah, Invented, like, went after me, you know. They ended up deleting it. We're like, hey, you know, Lars not the problem. I'm like, but you already went after me, dude. You already incited all of this stuff, right? So I'm just like, Invented, look, I'm sorry, but you go your way, I'll go my way, you know. I think it was the last time we talked. But it's just sad, right? It's just sad. You know, when things like this happen, when people get doxxed, and I think it just flew too close to the sun. Yep, Olivia Monroe. Demi actually accused Olivia Monroe of botting. Now, I will say this. I did look into it a little bit. It's not... It's hard to really say for sure. I will say there are some red flags. I won't lie. There are a few red flags, which I'll point out to you. But it's not conclusive, right? The thing about, well, stuff like that as well, right? If somebody is really botting, normally it's very apparent. Especially like that guy I mentioned earlier, Lumiere Grimson. His was very apparent that he botted. However, with Olivia, it's a little bit harder to tell. We'll talk about it, though. We'll talk about it. Yeah, now I will say this, right? You guys remember the whole, like, Demi situation with Rosie Belmoom? You know, ever since then, I've kind of been... I don't know. I don't dislike Demi at all, right? I think that she's okay, right? But after all that stuff went down with Rosie, and now she was crashing out over, like, those tweets and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Oh, they made up? Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I was just like, Demi, you were crashing out way too hard over this. Like, there was no reason to crash out. But I am really happy to hear that. That's actually really good. I mean, it was maybe a moment of weakness, right? Yeah, I mean, apparently she wanted to call it out, which is fair, right? I think a lot of people don't talk about it because it's either one, they're doing it themselves, or two, they're scared to call it out and to cause a problem, right? But legitimately, viewbotting is a problem, right? So I will talk about it. I mean, again, I know that Demi's like had her moments where I've kind of been like, you know what I mean? So I agree, Darth. Like, she's fine in my book. She just, like, sometimes I'm like, Demi, come on, like, that's too much. And I don't know in this situation if that's the case or not. You know what I mean? So I agree, Irish. Well, the problem is if you DM somebody like that, they're probably instantly gonna just block you. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she already did. I don't know if I think she said she reached out to Mythic as well. We'll take a look at it. I want to see what your thoughts are. But how are you guys? What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Yes, Death Battle did mention me. We're going to go through, we're actually going to react to that first thing because I was just absolutely blown away, guys. I mean, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful, but I'm just like, holy shit. I think one of her crash outs coincided during the week she had surgery. I'm sure she was going through things, yeah. I mean, it's good to understand. It's also worth holding people accountable, but it's also good to acknowledge there's a backstory. I mean, again, I've had no problem with Demi up until that whole thing with Rosie, so I was just like, girl, you were crashing out way too hard. Yo, thank you so much. It's Friday the 13th, not such a happy occasion. What do you mean Friday the 13th is based as fuck? Only good things happen. Yeah, only good things happen. Yeah, Wapper, so for instance, like, I know the counter breaks, if a bunch of people give bits all at the same time, it breaks. If people give, like, subs from different territories, it breaks. So it kind of has to right itself, and normally it will do it the following day. Because basically what it does is it goes, for every $5, it adds a point, right? So it kind of has to like write itself sometimes based on what's going on. Like not everything needs to be crashed out. Yep, exactly. I mean, overall, I think Timmy's a good creator. Obviously, she's very popular. I think calling out Viewbotting is very worthwhile. But, you know, it just kind of depends, right? But don't step on a crack, you'll break your back. But my back is already dead. What do you mean? What do you mean, dude? Well, chat, looks like you're going to give me for, you know, maybe 430 days, maybe, but trust me, I'll get the timer to zero after that.
Not really today. Is the only day in the year where I do not dare to challenge the universe.
I don't blame you, Deception. I don't blame you. So last night though, after stream, want to explain the ring camera. Oh, you mean the one that I tripped into and broke? Yeah. So, all right. So we ended up installing our ring a little bit lower because we accidentally put it too high when we first installed it. And we couldn't see anything, so I lowered it myself. And then there was one day I was bringing home groceries. I fell into it, and I broke it.
Last time I did that, you took out mine.
So it's all true, dude. You can literally smash it with your chest. Like I shattered my fucking ring camera with my tits, chat. Like just straight up. Yep, she broke it with her boobs. That's all true. Just like the fucking scale. That's my booba. It was an honorable death. I'll ask if I bring him back for massive freaking boobies. I'll just wait till you hear what the death battle people say. I'm like,
it should have been me.
Yeah, just wait till you hear what the death battle people say. I'm like, oh yes, my reputation precedes me. Oh my god. How long did you put the ring camera where you all people could trip into it? I mean, I put it like same height as like my chest. I mean, I did put it lower because we couldn't really see. So like when Aya like installed it, she installed it way too high, so we couldn't make out anybody that was coming to our door. Like literally people would be like bringing packages and stuff, and all we would see is the top of their head. So I just installed it lower because I figured if it was lower, we'd be able to see everything. So I was like, it's fine. But it was my fault for putting it that low. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys will hear about my the fucking death battle thing. I'm like, yes, my reputation precedes me. I've always made the joke for a three-way death battle between you and the newstuber. But if it's actually plausible, then let's hope. But, you know, Lady and I are good friends. You know, Rima and I are good friends. Maybe it could be a thing one day. Yeah, it's supposed to be at 5 feet, and I made it a lot lower than that, just because we can see people, and I figured logically it made sense to have it lower so you can see what's going on. I thought it made sense. I thought it made sense, chat. Kirby, where were you yesterday, Kirby? Where have you been for like the past 2 weeks? I blame the roof. Yeah, that's true. I do too. So, you know, yes, I put it low, but I wanted to see everything. It's my fault. Also, another thing to remember as well is like, you have to kind of like step up to like our door, and that's what I tripped on. Shut the fuck up, Nate. I will fucking slap you. Perhaps 5 feet from the base of the house rather than the door. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. It's my fault. And then Aya just kept laughing at me, and I'm like, and then, so now I bought a new one. We have a new one, but I actually got a person to come install it. So it's at the correct height, allegedly now. But I'm like, oh my god. The last thing the ring camera saw was Elara's massive boobs. It's like, wham. I mean, it wasn't that low, likely it was like shoulder, not booba, but we blame the booba. Yeah, shut up. What's up, Gagi? How are you? Can't the angle of the camera be tilted down slightly? Not with the one that we had empty-headed. At least the old one that we had. Maybe like the new one you can, but so I got this ring. When I originally moved, my dad bought me a ring. And I didn't put it into my first place because I already had a ring there, like the the apartment came with a ring. So then when we moved into our house, it didn't have anything. So I ended up using it, but it was kind of older, right, at that point. So we can tilt sideways usually. Okay, well, I don't know about our new one. I'd have to go check, but I'm not running downstairs right now. I guess I'll let you know in the Discord. I didn't know it could do that, though. Yeah, because the one that we had is literally like you have the phone app, right? And it would just pull up. On the new one, I'm not really sure. I'm just ring out to their Super Bowl advertisement. What was it? Did they use AI or something, bro? I swear to God, I'm so tired of all these AI commercials. I'm sure you saw fucking Dr. Pepper's new commercial, right? Yeah, people were like, haha, you fell. Get wrecked, dude. I know, silence, I know. I know, yesterday was nuts. You lose a dog, everybody has a ring camera will be spied on. Really, actually. Oh, they're invasive in privacy. Oh, that sucks. That's horrible. Yeah, that was kind of one of my concerns getting one, but yep, Dr. Pepper's doing it too. Actually, I'll show you that first thing. We can actually dive into it. Guys, you know what to type. Go ahead and do it. And let's talk a bit about some news. But we are going to talk about what happened with the death battle stuff first. Yeah, that's right. I'll show you right here, actually, Dr. Pepper. This is the real Dr. Pepper. Just wait till that polar bear has a Dr. Pepper. Of course, I'll actually play this for you with sound. You can hear everything, but it's clearly AI. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Also, quick question here. You know, these are all bears, right? A koala bear is actually not a bear. I just want to point that out for a second. Of course, you know, even this video is AI generated. Dr. Pepper has been hiding posts mentioning this being made with AI for some reason. So, yeah, pretty disappointing for sure. But notice how the sound of opening the can plays when they don't open the Dr. Pepper, but instead just start drinking it. So, yeah, marsupial. Absolutely unneeded. So, boo these people. Boo Dr. Pepper.
This guy stinks!
How could you, Dr. Pepper? How could you? I mean, at least it's a little bit better than watching your 490 just fucking melt in front of your eyes.
Or is this fine? It smells really bad. Oh, I'm in a game.
Watching this is killing me,
bad?
dude. Turn off your fucking computer. Oh my God, I'll be crashing the fuck out, dude. Just fucking melting in front of your eyes. Well, I mean, you know, at least that's better than, you know, this giant fucking ketchup. Would anybody actually buy the ketchup? That's a lot of fucking stuff. Yeah, literally, like, unplug that shit. Unplug it right now. Dude, who needs this much ketchup? Apparently GXORA does, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Yeah, that is absolutely wild. That is so scary, dude. So scary to see all that. Give me the gamer subs, Keg. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, chat, I gotta talk about this. So, yeah, I think it was almost 2 days ago now. Over on the Death Battle channel, Death Battle does live streams every once in a while. And they did this one called the Death Battle Fireside Chat. Now, I want to tell you, this is a members-only stream. So I want to be respectful of that because, obviously, you have to pay a fee to watch these types of streams, right? You're going to be a member. We're not going to react to, of course, this video, right? Because I feel like that would be breaking the sanctity of being a member of the Death Battle channel, right? And I want to respect that because, again, it's like a paywall. So I'm not going to show the clip. But what I am going to show you is a video that I put together. This is a screenshot and a recorded audio from this members-only stream. So my manager and I felt like that was the best way to go because I did want to show you guys what they had to say, which was absolutely wild. But that is right, guys. On the most recent Fireside Chat, where Death Battle just talks about stuff, right? They just yap about whatever. In this most recent one, they were talking about people they like, other people that react to them, etc. And chat, they actually ended up mentioning me. I was like, wait, what the fuck? They're talking about me. That's right, guys. They did end up actually talking about me. So let's go take a look
And the
at the
entire
video here. I'm gonna share it with all of you. But this is just absolutely wild, guys. Again,
the entire comment section is just like, dude, you talking?
I'm absolutely blown away. Yeah, like my name as well. So I'm very thankful.
It's time for a death battle.
Literally. But I'm very, very thankful that they would even want to even just talk about me for a moment, right? The fact that they know who I am, the fact that they watched some of my reacts, is absolutely just wild to me, chat. I mean, I'm just absolutely blown away by that fact. So, actually, I think I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. Nah, I'm probably gonna make it full screen. I don't know. Yeah, I'll make it full screen. But yeah, this was such a happy surprise to me. Somebody who just reacts to death battles because I think they're fun. Somebody reacts to death battles because you guys like it as well. It was really cool to be acknowledged by a group that you look up to, right? I think this was really, really cool. Really, really special to me. And I will certainly hold this in my heart for a long time. To kind of be like acknowledged by your, I don't know, like your like react Oshis, you know what I mean? Like death battle, reacting to death battles. Honestly, death battle is like one of my react Oshis, you know what I mean? Like we love them so much. And they bring so much joy to you guys as well. As me, I hope you will continue to support them. This was, of course, a member's live, so you know maybe consider go over there, check them out, be a member as well.
Can I get
and support them.
extra milk?
Oh my God! So please go check them out. Go give them some love. They certainly deserve it. But anyway, guys, here's what they had to say.
And the entire comment section is just like, dude,
you talked
you
over the
fucking
part.
listen to him.
Yeah, those crack me up.
It's very funny to me.
So he's talking about how people just kind of like are complaining about death battles sometimes.
Yeah, and then we got to close this out, but the custodians as well. Love them. They're a super great group of friends that do a lot of good stuff. And I'm gonna say, I saw this one reactor, and she's a quite busty VTuber model.
Yes, I see my reputation precedes me. Yes, I do see them. You know who I am. Oh my God. As soon as they said that, I'm like, holy shit, they're talking about me. Oh my God. I mean, the booba literally does precede me. It enters the room before I do. Oh my God. But I was just like, there ain't no way, dude. There ain't no way. There ain't no way they just said that shit. That's absolutely wild. Wait. Oh. I actually clicked the wrong button, chat. Help me. I was like, wait a second. Why am I fucking spinning? Oh my God. My reputation precedes me, chap. But anyway, listen to what they had to say. It was really, really very, very kind of them.
Busty VTuber model, right? Right? Okay. They're like, I'm like, well, no. So this came up, right? You know, like, and I'm like, what is this, right? And I'm like, I just had to Google because I wanted to make sure I got it right. But Elara, and Elara knows her shit. Like,
she's great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
They said I know what I'm talking about. I don't think I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I appreciate that a lot. That's very sweet of them. They actually enjoyed my content. I'm gonna die. I'm dying. I'm exploding. I'm out of here, chat. I can't take compliments already. No, this is like, oh my God, this is the nicest thing in the world, actually. This is the nicest thing in the world. I was absolutely blown away that they even knew who I was, even mentioned me, even like talked about me, but also the fact that they like said these really nice things is nuts. I gotta wait for this hat to go away before I can continue, but oh my God, I was absolutely shocked. Let's roll it back a little bit so you hear the whole thing.
and she's a quite busty VTuber model, right? Right? Okay. So like, I'm like, well, no. So this came up, right? Like, and I'm like, what is this, right? And I just had to Google because I wanted to make sure I got it right. But Elara knows her shit. Like,
she's great.
Yeah.
she's awesome.
Mhm.
Like, I watched that and I was just like, yep, that's amazing. Like, really knows her shit. As a great.
There are a
positive
lot
community
of-
and stuff,
Yeah, I think
Aw.
in her,
I don't know.
she did a Bowsegg one, and she was like, "Wait, this is like a 4-minute animation, and they don't have a Patreon."
I remember talking about that in the Bowser and Eggman one. I'm like, how the fuck do they not have a Patreon? Like, what are you guys doing?
How are they doing this? And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, there are a lot of VTuber like reactions these days, which is interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we love it when people are like talking about the show and sharing it around. Reactions are a great way to do that. So like, I jest obviously of people who like complain or whatever. But however they react to it, it's cool with us.
I love the fact that they're so in tune with reactors as well. You know, they're like, yeah, like we love reactions. That's cool with us. Like we like that, and I really enjoy that energy a lot, right? The fact that they want people to react to it and share it around and stuff. And that's the whole point of Death Battle, right? To enjoy this wonderful entertainment and share with each other and create conversation and just yap about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I love this so much. So I don't know if this is going to reach you guys, but thank you so much for your very kind words. I'm definitely going to take I know what I'm talking about to my grave. Anytime somebody in my comments is like, well, actually, I'm like, well, the creators of Death Battle said I know what I'm talking about, so your argument is now invalid. But no, I do appreciate the kind words. I don't know if it'll make it to you, but thank you so much. And I really love your work so much. And I hope that, I can continue to react to it till the end of my days. I appreciate y'all. Really, really cool. So, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Take that, chat. No, they're really sweet. They're really, really sweet. Absolutely insane. So maybe one day we can, if they're open to it, we can see about hanging out or something. I doubt it. They're probably very busy, but really, really cool to, be acknowledged by Death Battle, even in the smallest capacity. So that means a lot to me, especially as medium-sized creator. That means the world to me. So thank you so much. Yeah, they did. Great argument, but Death Battle likes my tits. So, get wrecked. Oh my god. So thank you guys so much. Again, I just wanted to show you guys. It meant the world to me, especially as somebody that loves doing Death Battle reacts. Yeah, it just meant the world to me. So hearing about that blew my fucking mind last night. I was just like, what do you mean? And then Stitches was nice enough to get the timestamp for me because I was watching it like all the way through at like double speed. So that was really, really cool. So we love Death Battle around here. Keep supporting Death Battle. And of course, go check them out for all of their awesome work that they do. Look, guys, I just react to it. They're the ones that are doing all the heavy lifting. So please go check them out. And of course, over my Reacts channel, they know a lot more about it, right? I'm not multi-streaming to my Reacts channel today. I'm multi-streaming to my news channel, but nonetheless, I think it's absolutely incredible. So I'll certainly, have this edit, clipped and uploaded so that way we can all enjoy it together, the reaction to that. But so cool, man. I'm giddy about it, like certain things happen to me and I'm just like, I just want to fucking like squeal, like that was just a moment for me. I just, I was so filled with excitement and love, so such a small thing just goes a long way. Yeah, I'm gonna frame it and be like, very busty VTuber. Make a shrine. Oh my god. Speaking of shrines, guys, you might want to start praying because we're gonna talk about some VTuber news. So everybody get ready. That was a good segue, by the way, right? Daily Milkers just wants to stream, right? Yes. Sometimes Hot Moth. It's kind of like a daily check-in, right? Every once in a while, you can get multiples, but that's like a special moment. Yeah, so here we go, guys. So first up, I do want to kick things off by talking about what is going on here with Invented. So first up, chat, you guys don't know Invented is basically a Twitter commentator, right? Very ingrained with a special mode whenever stream dies, yeah. Now, sometimes I have to, like, wheel spins where you get, like, 10, 20 times. So, Twitter commentator, V-tweeter is a good way to put it as well. Vinted was known for making some very controversial statements in the past. Well, recently, guys, unfortunately, Vinted got doxxed. Now, I will say this. I'm not a fan of Invented. I do think they flew too close to the sun on this one. However, nobody deserves to be doxxed, right? That is absolutely deplorable. Unfortunately, now, Invented is going to be stepping away from the internet, which I think is probably best for them to do, not only for their safety, but for their mental as well. Obviously, being chronically online as they have been is very, very crazy, right? So I do want to wish them the best, right? Not in the sense that I'm happy that they are leaving, because nobody should have to leave because they got doxxed, right? But I think for them, it's probably going to be the absolute best thing for their future, right? I think that they were just too heavily online all the time, chronically online. I think this is going to be the best thing for them. However, there is a little bit of a bad side as well to add to this, because now that they have doxed Vinted, they might feel like that they could do that to them. They could do that to other people, right? So there is a bit of a consideration here, right? That if somebody gets doxxed and they're leaving, which is horrible, right? Again, you should never get doxxed. Nobody should dox you. People feel like they're going to be able to get away with it, and they might take those actions on other people in the future. So that is really sad. That is really horrible, but it is something to consider, guys, that they're going to feel very, I don't know the right word for it, very vindicated, and might feel like that they continuously do it to people that they disagree with, right? Obviously, Invented was very controversial. Obviously, Invented was, harassing certain people. However, again, they did not deserve to be doxxed. Yeah, maybe emboldened, empowered would be the right word. But anyway, let's go listen to what Invented had to say and why they are leaving.
Hello, folks.
Right, exactly, like they won, right?
I've decided that I'll be stepping away indefinitely from being public on the internet. For the sake of my physical and mental well-being, but more importantly,
I agree with
for the
that.
sake
That's
of
probably
those
the best
close to me.
choice.
This has been a decision
Emboldened,
I've
that's the
gone
best
back
word.
and forth on
You're
since
right.
the beginning of the year, and no single incident caused it.
I mean, I don't know if I would say no single incident caused it. Like, obviously getting doxxed is a huge catalyst for wanting to move on, right?
But first, a few things to address. I had a semi-secret VTuber
Yeah,
account.
this was actually a big
I
surprise for
started
me.
streaming in
I was
late
like, wait,
2024, after roughly half a year being public as NBin. I kept it relatively low profile on purpose. I didn't think I was good enough yet to be streaming in front of as many people as I had
Yeah,
following
I think
me
this would be
here.
best for their health and
I
safety
could have
at this
easily
point.
done drama react slop as Bent and been far more successful, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually make stuff and have fun. I love VTubers and
Yeah, I think that would
VTubing,
do all of us
and
some
I
good.
didn't want to risk shitting
I
up
mean,
the
that's
scene
what I'm
any
doing this
more than I
weekend.
do by tweeting. Anyone who knows me knows there are far more VTubers I love than VTubers I don't. It was an escape for me during the dark days of the pandemic. I enjoyed it, and I was excited to make more stuff in a space where I was separate from
Right,
drama.
exactly. And like, I do know that Invented has been very supportive of people in the past, but, two wrongs don't make a right, and you can't just cancel out some of the very poor things that you did to other people with good actions, right? So
I
they have
had a
to be
co-op
equally
server
judged.
for my 1-year anniversary. This was not a secret group chat clique where I plotted the downfall of VTubers I didn't like. This chat was me planning events and hanging out with people. The people in that chat are their own people, with agreements and disagreements with what I say and do. We hung out for fun casual streams, and nothing else. Screenshots will be included in the replies, with names redacted.
This again, I don't want anybody to ever feel like doxing is the answer, right? You can hold people accountable to their words and actions without doxing them, right? Doxing is never okay. I cannot think of any situation offhand right now that doxing would be okay. It should not ever be a go-to action, as much as you might disagree with somebody or as much damage as they're causing, right? I think there are other ways to go about it lawfully and correctly.
One of those people who's given me permission to name them is Kiniju. I consider Kiniju a friend. However, he more than anyone else has voiced his disagreements with how I do things. We've argued a bit at times even.
I mean,
he most
that's
definitely
a good friend.
didn't approve of my
A good
trash
friend is
talking
gonna
and more
disagree with you.
mean-spirited posts. He's his own person, and one of the most genuine and honest people I've met here. He came into my
I don't think
anniversary
he's gonna
stream
step
for
away.
about 30 minutes,
To be honest,
and we talked about our experience with books related to mental health and the self-help industry.
yep, I agree with that,
Our
Max.
only other
There's
collab
always
was
a
a
legal
Nuno
way to do
stream.
things correctly.
He's aware that I'm making this statement. He's also making his own. Regardless of what it says, I don't want
they
anyone
were
else
pretty
dragged
bad,
down
Dan,
by what
but
I've said or done.
I think that
My
we could at
actions
least
are
say
my
that
own.
that was wrong. You know what I mean? Hey, how many hours left in the Sabadan? Oh, you know, only like 85. No big deal. But, yeah, I mean, I think we could say that it is wrong, right? And at least admit that. Obviously, that doesn't, you know, the things that Binti did were still wrong. You know, doxing can be wrong, but also Binti and his actions are wrong. Both can exist simultaneously.
There are things I stand by and there are things I deeply regret. Among those is how I spoke about Seu and Doki. My opinion at the time was that though I felt for their pain, I thought that they were jerks who benefited from hatred. Though as the scene has gotten worse, I realized that they were both genuine people just doing their best.
I'll speak out
I've
about
addressed
this
this
in
more
particular.
times than I can count. Though the truth always takes longer to explain than a lie. The people who bring it up the most aren't really interested in the truth or in the well-being of either of these VTubers.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
said what I said about them to a much smaller audience than I have now, though they were still mean-spirited posts.
I'm very glad that Binti decided to address that. They really were quite aggressive and horrible. Specifically about Doki Bird. I remember when Binti had posted multiple times about Doki Bird, really talking a bunch of mess about them during Selling Gate. It was really, really messed up. It was really, really messed up. Yeah, exactly. It's a huge victim blaming around Doki. The Sayu stuff, I'm not as familiar with, to be honest. I don't remember what they said about Sayu, but I do remember the stuff about Doki, and that was that was really just messed up. The victim blaming was wild. So I am very glad that Binti decided to take some responsibility. I at least think that that was something they did that was needed right now.
With that said, I have never once shared docs info on either Seu or Doki or supported
I do
others
not
for
even know
doing
about
so.
that instance.
My comments about the consequences
been
of
before I
Seu's
did news.
actions were to do with how I felt about her being terminated by Neji, which isn't how I feel now. Furthermore,
Yeah,
I
they were
have never
definitely
ever
Niji's
said that
sister back
Doki
in the
deserved
day.
what she went through.
I hope
I've
they
always
learned.
said the complete opposite of this, even at my most negative. And as someone with my own heavy mental health struggles, it's upsetting and disingenuous to be accused of that. But I still feel a lot of guilt about how I spoke, and for that I'm sorry. I've carried that guilt with me for some time.
I'm glad they at least acknowledged it. It was 2024 me telling them it was weird, that I mean, blog nice. I really don't remember that, Nid, so, I mean, I was definitely doing news then, but, I don't know, maybe I just missed it, or maybe I just don't remember. Sometimes I cover stuff and I just don't remember. One thing I will say here, too, is, like, having guilt, I think, at least shows that there is a thought process for them. But one thing I will say is, the problem is, right, when you are disingenuous yourself, people are going to be more likely to be disingenuous back to you. And that sucks, right? It shouldn't be that way, but sadly, when you are disingenuous and inflammatory, people are just going to do it right back to you, right? I'm not saying it's right, but you know, if you put that kind of energy out there, that's the energy you get on return.
I don't know if I'll ever come back. If I do, I won't be doing what I do now. I'll
Yeah,
leave
I really
scuffles
wish you would have
with
said this
streamers to other
earlier.
people.
Instead
you
of
to
taking a
those who
dox for them
supported
to
me.
come out with us.
It meant the world to me. Thank you to those who
I
were
muted
genuine
them.
with me too, even if we didn't get along. If you truly care about making this space a more loving place and putting in the work, I support you. That isn't just about me, and there are better kinder people who do far more than I've ever done. As much as there are things I love in the VTuber community,
Yeah, maybe
I've
so
grown to be
negative,
very
Travis.
anxious
I
and
don't know,
miserable.
Ray. I can't tell you
I
for
don't
sure.
have it in me to keep doing what I've been doing the last couple years, and for whatever good I've done I don't want to cause hurt any longer.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't want
cause
to
equal
act and
harm and
speak
hurt as well.
impulsively in ways that don't align with my values or the world I want. For some it's good news that I'm leaving, and for others I know I may be letting them down. The world is in a dark place, but I don't want to be consumed by that darkness.
I'll be making this account private shortly. If you want to reach out, DMs will be open. Take care. So, like, I mean, I do appreciate that for whatever good you've done. I don't want to cause any hurt. You've caused a lot, right? You've caused an equal amount of hurt. I'm not saying that certain people don't deserve to be called out. Don't get me wrong, but there's been a lot of times where it feels like you've engaged in bad faith, and you've also really were disingenuous. I mean, even for me, for example, right? Like, you put out all of these tweets, right? And you didn't even like bother to ask me any questions or to follow up or anything, right? You just straight up went on blast. And he said, "Oh, my bad," and deleted the tweets and then tried to walk away, you know, from it. Like, well, Lara's not the problem. But it's like, you already did the damage, you know? Like, what if you set a field on fire and put out the fire, you still did damage, you know what I mean? Like, there's crops that are already burned from it. So, I don't know, that definitely rubbed me the wrong way quite a bit. But, I mean, I do hope that Binted, I'm very, very sorry that you got doxxed. Again, that is absolutely horrible. And I do hope that you're safe. I hope you will actually step away from the internet for a while and just, like, improve yourself, dude. Like, there's much more to life than the internet. Much more to life. Go touch some grass, dude. Like, it feels really good, right? So it feels really great to touch grass and get out there. But I really am hoping the best for you. I know that you're going to... You're a very passionate person, right? And I think if you directed that in a more positive light, you would be able to do something really, really great. So, you know, go do your thing, Binted. And I think it's better you step away from the space for a while. All right, have fun with your meeting. I'm sorry. That said, what did I wasn't that bad. No, I mean what they've done is definitely worth criticizing, right? I'm definitely not ever gonna argue that you know, Invented is not innocent, right? But I do think for them, this is probably the best thing they can do for themselves is step away. Under the circumstances, it's really bad and it's really dark, right? I hate that they got doxxed. I think stepping away is probably the best thing for them, though. Yeah, I hope they just, like, take the time to improve themselves. And that's it. In other news, guys, we also going to talk about a little bit of a follow-up to the Celestium situation. Now, guys, if you remember, I covered this on my last stream. Celestium actually ended up losing their makeshift partnership, right? They were going to do a plushie. Well, it was canceled. Call me cynical, but I just don't find it sincere. They're still acting feisty, and the damage is already done. Ben doesn't deserve the dox and do wish to get better. Let this be a lesson to bother with the VTuber grift. Yeah, you're not combating toxicity, you're contributing to it. Yeah, again, they flew far too close to the sun. I feel you, dude. I feel you. Again, I do genuinely hope they improve and things get better for them, but I mean, they did reap what they sowed. That's true. So during my last stream, we talked about Celestium, who lost their makeshift partnership. Now, so here is the actual message. Of course, this side we want to inform you. After deliberations, the Celestium makeshift will no longer be proceeding with production Celestium, the Latina account plushie. Now, I don't know what about this looks like an accountant. To me, this just looks like, I don't know, your model with a paintbrush and a Bible. I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I don't really feel like this looks like an accountant plushie. Just gonna say that up front. But they did lose their sponsorship with Makeshift. The campaign. This isn't very surprising because with Celestium, they have gone on to say some really, really horrible stuff, right? I showed you some examples where they were trying to undermine trans identities, being transphobic. They were also telling, gay people they were going to, burn in hell. It's a sin. I mean, this is a person that does not align with my values at all, period, right? So they did lose their sponsorship with Makeshift, which means more than likely Makeshift did not align with their values as well, right? So ultimately, it does look like they are getting some new support from Leafly. I know Rev and Straub have, said a few other things as well, but they did come out with another video as well titled "We Are at War." So let's go take a look at this video. I want to see what their follow-up is. I mean, again, guys, my opinion of this is I'm not surprised Makeshift dropped her, right? After the very controversial stuff she said. And I didn't even touch on the ICE stuff during my last coverage of it as well, right? I didn't even touch on that. But she's definitely said some very controversial stuff. So let's take a look at what she had to say about everything, chat.
The going keeps going, and it doesn't seem to end with a lot of these companies. If you are in my Discord server, you already know the announcement that I had made earlier. I just got off work not too long ago, but I thought it would be really important to kind of update you guys on kind of what's going on and just kind of going forward. I'm sure I'm limited in what I can say, so I'll try to make this stream pretty
exactly
brief.
Yeah, being gay is a sin. Well, fuck, I'm a criminal. Let's go.
So I don't want to take up too much time, but as of today, I found out that Makeshift will no longer be going through with the plushie campaign. They have, since the announcement, specified some information as to why they are not going to continue with me. I somehow broke their
I want to say this really quick, chap. If you are a controversial person, right? I think there needs to be an expectation that when you make controversial tweets that don't go over well for you, or just controversial in general, I don't think you can do the surprise Pikachu face that you lost your sponsorship. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she doesn't align with my values either, despite sharing along the same faith and values, yeah. And actually, I agree. There's a lot of Christians as well that very much denounce this type of behavior. I mean, I think it's absolutely wrong for you to tell people that, they're not going to go to heaven because they're gay, right? That's absolutely unacceptable in my book, right? We could have a whole fucking debate about all that for a whole stream by itself, right? But we can boil it down to, well, dude, I'm in a gay relationship, so you're literally telling me that, who I love and how I feel doesn't matter. And that's wrong. That's wrong to me, right? For you to tell, trans people that they are a guy pretending to be a girl, you are undermining identity, you are being transphobic, and I don't think that that's okay, right? So is it really a big Pikachu surprise face that you got dropped by Makeshift? No, it's not surprising to me at all. Like, I'm sorry this happened to you, but you have to understand, be realistic. You are controversial, right? You have made controversial statements, and you reap what you sow. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So, of course they're gonna drop you. How are you gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe they did this? Like, you made controversial statements. Actions have consequences. Just because you disagree with it doesn't mean that you're free of those consequences.
Community guidelines and committed a violation. We're working on getting a more clear answer because their last response wasn't exactly the most clear. All campaign contributions will be refunded. Please reach out to Makeshift if you haven't gotten a refund, or in the next couple days or weeks you don't see that in your account. Please, as I mentioned before, do not go harass these people. I understand that they're a business and they're going to try to protect their bottom line.
So I'm going to stop it here, Chad, because I already went through all of this with you the other day. But what I do want to say here is that it's not about protecting your bottom line, right? So in rare cases, right, people do put morals over profits, right? And it's not about protecting their bottom line. In fact, they actually let you go because they don't agree with your morals and they don't agree with your viewpoints, right? So that is why they dropped you. So again, I don't understand how you can sit here and be like, oh, I'm so surprised this is happening. This is crazy, right? Like, be for real with yourself. You know how this came about, right? You're like, oh, well, I'm looking for an explanation. You know why. You know what I mean? So sometimes why people can't bother to keep their mouth shut.
Having a
like
title
this.
like We Are at War is one of the dumbest things I can think of. It only shows this people have no idea what a war is. War is just the name we gave the ultimate form of conflict, and it really pisses me off if people misuse the word war so
I mean, it's
casually.
a fair point, Deception. So I did at least want to give you the follow-up to show you that, you know, this was like the actual posted reason, right? Also, it's about images. Somebody makes a statement that is intuitive to your views. You want to associate with that, right? Absolutely. And like I said, don't get me wrong. In my video editing business that I worked for before I was a full-time VTuber, right? I had to work for people I did not like, right? I did not align with. But that was not my business, right? I worked for another business and you know, I bit the bullet, right? But now we're at a point where
I'm fairly certain you would have made the same decision if she had worked with your merch company as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, let's say as a hypothetical, right? That, you know, she reached out, and I will say Makeshift did not do their research well enough on this one. So that's probably what ended up happening. They probably got a notice, they looked into it and said, oh yeah, no, that's not going to work, right? So I think that was probably part of the reason, right? Which caused a little bit of this problem. And I will say Makeshift owns that part of it. They should have done more research. Yeah, exactly. But I think Makeshift is a very like pro LGBTQ. So again, it just doesn't align with their values, right? And they can make that decision. Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody else out there which has already been shown that wants to work with you. So you can do your thing on your side of the internet, and I'm going to do mine, but I don't think it's right for you to say the things you've said and then do surprise Pikachu face about it, right? Yeah, I mean, when you have control of your business, right? Like, if Celestium reached out to me and was like, oh my god, do you want to work with, you know, TrueTuber, right? If it was up to me, I'd be like, no, because you're trying to invalidate my values and who I am, right? I'm gay, dude. Like, I'm in a relationship with a woman. For you to say that we're not going to go to heaven is absolutely ridiculous, right? Or, you know, for you to invalidate who we are, or to also be transphobic in other comments and invalidate who other people are. I mean, a lot of my really close friends are trans, right? For you to say something like that, I would never let that fly, ever. You will not invalidate who my friends are. So this is just not somebody that aligns with my values at all. Yeah, again, like, I feel like just being like, making a big like fuss about it, you can't be surprised. You really cannot be surprised. To be honest, nobody should be telling others to go to hell just because they're gay. That's stupid. Yep, I agree. So reach out. I did just want to follow up, kind of give you the thing here. This is probably the last I'm going to talk about it. I know some other people are supporting her. You know, that's a prerogative, so they can do what they want. But yeah, I think this is the last I have to mention on this. In other news, guys, I do want to talk about, we're going to go from one crazy thing to another. Guys, I'm going to show you this meme. You're probably going to have a very strong reaction to it, so I'm just going to give you a heads up, all right? But recently, guys, we've been talking a lot about Powder, right? Well, Powder recently came out with this meme here that she posted in response to the Black Vtuber awards that have been going around. And I think it speaks for itself, chat. I don't think there's anything that I need to add to this that probably isn't already being said. Yeah, exactly. To see Black VTuber awards. Of course, you're white in this picture, right? Also holding watermelon to be as stereotypical as you can get, right? And of course saying, oh yes, total racial domination. I have a real problem, chat. I have a real problem, and I'm going to tell you my problem. Obviously, no, Dan, she's not. It's also AI generated, so that there's another check on the list. But I want to say something here really quick because I think it's important, right? And I run this filter by when I cover everything, right? So, Azura, that's a great question that you asked me, and that's gonna give me a great bouncing point. Is she trying to do a funny? I don't get it. This is Powder's content. It's all about rage bait, purposely poking at controversial topics to get the biggest, most craziest reactions you can possibly get. It's literally rage bait. It's bait all the way. And I hate talking about Powder because this is exactly what she wants. She wants me to talk about her to continue spreading this rage bait because it doesn't matter to her. She doesn't give a shit, dude. She just wants to be as controversial as possible so that way she gets her name out there. That's all she cares about. And I hate having to give her the attention that she wants from this. I hate having to do it. But you know what? Out of all the stuff that she has done, wishing harm upon the person that quote-unquote copied her, all of these really crazy statements she said, and now this meme, I think that we've reached a point where it's got to be called out, guys. It's past the point of just, oh yeah, this is rage bait, ignore it. This is what they want. They want the crazy reactions. Well, guys, we've reached past the point, right? There is nothing wrong with the Black VTuber Awards. To highlight the underrepresented part of our community is a good thing. Especially during Black History Month. So why the fuck are you gonna sit there and poke at that? Why are you gonna have a problem with that? Why are you gonna make a picture like this? Yeah, it doesn't even feel like rage bait anymore. It just feels like you're just straight up being racist. And the thing is I don't know if she's actually racist. I think she's just doing this for rage bait and attention. I mean, genuinely. But the reason that she's not canceled is she doesn't care. You can't get canceled if you don't care, right? She will never, quote unquote, bend the knee. She does not give a fuck. I mean, I'm really wrapping up her whole persona. It is rage bait, right? And this one here, I agree with you. This is an evil one, right? But her whole persona and prior stuff is rage bait. If it was a parody comedy, I can understand, right? There's nothing clever. There's no real commentary here. It's literally just you're being a shitty person. So bad for the artist behind the model. They didn't already do it. Now it's PlayStation with a view and how it's being fed into AI. But funny you mentioned that, Fuzz, because that's exactly how Scully felt. I feel so bad for the original artist behind this customizable model. Not only is the reputation model being tanked, but it's also being fed into AI. I 100% agree with you, Fuzz. And I don't know what to tell you about Powder, right? Because here's the thing, chap. She's probably going to turn this clip into content. Literally, she's probably going to go, I can't wait for Elara to react to this because I can turn it into content. But what she will never acknowledge, guys, is the fact that she directly wished harm upon another person. Her words, right?
There is no such thing as ironic racism.
That is a fantastic point, Captain. And I just feel like I don't like talking about her because she's getting what she wants. She gets the attention that she wants out of this. But at the same time, chat, when you continue to do these types of behaviors over and 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 over, it's no longer a joke anymore, right? It's not a joke anymore. And it's disappointing to me in so many ways because I used to like Powder a lot. I used to love her content. I thought she was funny. I thought she was entertaining. I thought that she made some really cool, VTuber related models as well. She was very involved with the 3D scene, if I recall correctly. It's sad to see such a former great creator get a little bit of attention and start to just go in this extremely far direction of just these evil types of posts, right? And I know what she's gonna say. Oh, it's a joke. It's a joke, dude. There's a point where it doesn't become a joke anymore, you know. And that's what's fucked up, Fuzz Dog. Like, why is the rage bait and satire, quote unquote, ending up to have something to do with minorities, right? Why are you trying to undermine the Black VTuber Awards? That is not a bad thing. That is a good thing. Why do you have a problem with that? And exactly, yeah, her audience is committed to this, right? So regardless of what happens, whether we speak out or say, I denounce this type of behavior, etc., it doesn't matter, dude. She's already locked in. Doesn't matter what you say, people are gonna still support her, right? Yeah, I think so, Asura. I think so. I think she got attention. But one thing is she just kept leaning into it. But it's that we're past the point, dude. We're past the point of good faith consideration. We're past the point of you know, oh, we're gonna keep ignoring this. Yeah, no, it is negative exposure, exactly. I mean, guys, there's a lot of times where I will not cover something. Not for the sense that I don't want to talk about it, but for the sense that I know I'm going to give them what they want, and it's just not worth talking about, right? But we're past that point. We're really past that point now, and I hope that you will remember the things that Powder has done in the past that I've shown you as well, and also understand why this is so wrong, right? Let me ask you a question, chat, and be very true, be very honest and transparent with me. Do you think that this is okay? And if you think it's okay, please explain to me why. I'm willing to hear you out. I really am willing to hear you out. But tell me why. I don't know either, Nova. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. Roxas, how is it a joke? What is the joke here? There's nothing in here that's clever or funny or any of that, dude. It's literally at the expense of minorities. It's just like there's nothing funny here. Like, I'm not even like a dark humor person, right? But I understand people to a certain point that enjoy dark humor, right? I can understand. I can empathize a little bit, right? It's stereotypes anyway. Look at the other one with white. See, I don't even understand the cheese. Is that a stereotype of white people? Because I don't understand that. And I'm white. I've never
the problem
like
is that the
maybe I'm
internet
just
is
stupid,
a place
but
for all people. This also means the trolls and the people who want this kind of thing.
Right.
These are our neighbors. Whether we choose to acknowledge them or interact with them is down to ourselves. Other than that, other than extreme circumstances,
maybe so, Dan.
We can't do much else.
Yep. That's it. Just talk about it. So I kind of was a sponge for a second. I mean, like, it's morally reprehensible, Chad. It really is. And again, if you want to support Powder and watch her, look, that's up to you, dude. That's your prerogative. But in good faith, as a person with ethics and morals, I don't see how you could support somebody that does these types of things. But also on top of that, has intended harm upon somebody that she didn't like, that was quote unquote copying her, right? So I just don't get it. I don't get it. So I will show you also another instance here where we have a recent TikToker here named Chris. Chris is known as the VTuber man. Chris actually goes around and he does a lot of VTuber reviews, quote unquote. He'll be like, hey, let's look at this VTuber. And he talks about VTubers, etc., right? So he did make a video about Powder, and unfortunately it did not go over well for him. And so he decided to talk about it a little bit. So let's go take a look at what Chris had to say recently about his video and his VTuber review of Powder.
I said I wouldn't talk about this again, but I feel like I need y'all to know this. I just talked to my closest VTuber friend, and I was basically telling her the situation, and so this is what I came up with. I've decided to take all 3 videos down of her, and I owe you guys like a massive apology. I'm not doing it because Twitter is wanting me to. I'm doing it because I've realized that the videos just hurt my friends, like the closest friends I have, and it hurts. So to any of my friends who saw the powder videos, I'm really I'm sorry, and I hope you guys can forgive me. From now on, I'm going to pick my VTubers carefully, and if there's any controversies that I don't know, you tell me and I'll take it down. For the people who was rooting for me in those powder videos, thank you, but I hope you guys understand that this is not it. So I'm do a different move. So yeah, again, to my friends, I'm really am sorry, and let this be a learning experience, and let's get better together, okay? Okay. Let us put this in the past and pretend this never happened, and let's get to 10K so you guys can embarrass the fuck out of me and doing the thing that y'all want me to do, and that's wearing a maid dress. Yeah, I really love you guys.
I feel like you should be able to talk about any VTubers, right? Whether they're in controversy or not, right? You can also address that in a video, right? If you don't, you know, let's say that you talk about a VTuber, right, and they're controversial and a lot of people are upset about it, but you can also talk about the controversies as well if you were doing a review of them, right? So, closest friends get posts to open social media seems weird now. A little bit, right? Because there is a chill dude, I don't know him personally, but he's a good guy at heart. Exactly, do your research, right? So, and obviously this is his prerogative. I would never tell somebody to take their content just because somebody else is kind of controversial, right? In all honesty, I would address that, right? But what I do want to say here for a second is Powder actually went to Chris's videos and told him, hey, never apologized, never been the knee, right? So, and this has to do with him taking down the videos about, you know, Powder on his VTuber review type videos. So, take a look at what Chris had to say about it.
It's 5 a.m. in the morning, and look who popped into my comment section. Hello there. I actually am glad that you showed up to my comment section because I want to tell you a few things I've learned. And no, this is not going to be a hate video. This is me being completely honest and vulnerable with her. Now, you say never apologize to the internet, which is true. But sometimes when you do like a big major fuck up, there's nothing wrong with apologizing to the people you love. And this may sound corny, but I made a lot of friends doing these type of videos, and I'd rather not jeopardize them, so, yeah. All my videos are made with good intentions, which is to make people laugh, so I thought maybe if I made you, maybe people might like it. But unfortunately, not everything can be the case. So, with that being said, what have I learned? Before the whole thing went down for me, I believed in second chances. But seeing so many of my friends come to my comment section saying that they're still cool with me and proud of me, I really believe in second chances now. And maybe one day, and I hope this day comes, maybe we could do the same for you too. And you might make this into another video and say what you usually been saying, and please take this into consideration. When I was scrolling through your videos to pick the right video for you, you actually had funny clips. You had actually good videos to watch and laugh to. But it doesn't matter now because of your current videos that you're making, which is tarnishing your legacy. So with that being said, I'm leaving.
I think it's a very strong point, actually. The current videos become your legacy. That's very true, actually. Like, that's actually so fucking true. Like, because I told you, right? Like, I used to think Powder was funny as fuck, dude. She was a great entertainer, but he's right. Now that is your legacy, you know?
You with this. There's nothing wrong with apologizing. You just have to fucking mean it. And maybe this is a long stretch, but I would really love to see your apology so we can start fucking with you again and I can make a proper video for you. Because again, you can be funny. You just gotta stop posting those hurtful videos. And Powder, I believe you can be a good person, and I believe you can have genuine good friends who care for you. All you gotta do is just make one good, genuine apology. Because if I can do it, I believe you can do the same. Ball's now in your court, and hopefully you make the good one. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Love you guys.
I actually have a lot of respect for Chris for at least just to be like, hey, like, you know, I think a lot of the things that you've done is wrong, but you can always come back. Yeah, like I think he has a good heart. Now, Chris, I hate to shatter your very pure and sweet heart because I can tell that you're just a really nice dude. But she ain't gonna apologize. Like, there's no fucking way she's gonna apologize. Like, I love, he's very innocent, you can tell, you know what I mean? Like, he's a very kind person. And I think I have a lot of respect for him. At least I'll be like, hey, like, you know, this is what I stand for, and that's it, right? Whether you agree or disagree with it, right? But I do have respect for that. At least you stand on your values, right? I think all of us would,
Bro is
you know, I
talking her
respect
down
that,
like
but
Naruto
she's not
to a
gonna,
villain.
he's not gonna do that. Chris talking her down like a Naruto to villain. He's trying to, dude. He's just he's a nice guy, you know? He really is a nice guy. And I hate to shatter the expectation, right? But she's not gonna apologize, right? She's not. This is now, yeah, exactly. He's just a good guy, you know? Like, I really like Chris, I gotta say. I haven't interacted with Chris a lot, but I do really like him, I gotta say. But again, I just think that when you get to a point, right, where it's like, oh yeah, like, you're bending the knee, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with the quote-unquote bending the knee, right? If you fuck up, it's okay to take accountability and responsibility, right? Yeah, people do this shit, always talk about bending the knees if there's some kind of martyr, yeah. Don't let this overreacting marginalized people win type of shit. It's so bad, Fuzztog, because you're right. Like, dude, people want to act like bending the knee is the wrong thing. Guys, I'm going to tell you something that's actually kind of crazy. Sometimes it's okay to bend the knee, guys. Like, if you fuck up and you make a mistake, there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm sorry, and taking accountability. Like, maybe I'm just morally corrupt for feeling that way, but I hope I'm not. But guys, if I fuck up, I'm going to tell you guys and apologize and take accountability. That's how it should be, right? Because now you become somebody that is trapped in this, right? Powder will always have to appeal in this way to whatever, I don't know what kind of audience she's trying to appeal to, but whatever this audience is, she's going to always have to appeal to it now. She's always going to have to create content like this. And she probably more than likely knows it's wrong, but it doesn't matter, right? Because she's getting attention from it. So anything above all else for some kind of clout, right? Anything above all else for some kind of attention. And now you put yourself in a corner because you have to keep creating content like this for the rest of your content creator career. Yeah, and that's your legacy. No God above clout. Dude, I'm gonna put that in my fridge. Yeah, can I get that framed? No God above clout. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. But I will say this, chat. You know, I'm not here to tell you what to do. But I think that any morally trying to think of the right words, hold on. Any accountable or morally competent person will look at this and be like, yeah, no, that ain't right. Not gonna lie, for a while, I like that I don't care about the internet mentality, but it's gone too far. I agree. Very much, Void, very much. And to a little bit of her credit, I will say that the artist thing with the model, right? The artist went too far with it. They went way too far. So to her credit, I don't think that she was entirely wrong about that, the artist situation, right? Because the artist really tried to go off the deep end. But at the same time, she could have resolved it earlier, right? She could have reached back out to them, talked to them, and she said, well, I just ignored it and just let other people solve it. And I'm like, but why would you do that when you could just reach out to them and resolve the issue? Like, you're just letting it happen, you know? So that feels a little icky as well. So again, chat, I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to give you all of the stuff that I've known about her. I don't know if I'm going to keep covering this. I'm going to be honest. It's just, like I said, it's a double-edged sword, because if I cover this, she gets the attention she wants. But also, I feel like it needs to be called out as well. So, yeah, I mean, I guess so, Nid. I guess so. Don't think she knows she jumped out a hole she can't get out of. Where she goes now, she's going to piss someone off. And it's kind of crazy to me, Suyu, because I think that Powder and I are about the same age. And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I look at people and I'm like, I can empathize, right? And I just with Powder, I just can't empathize, you know? And that's rare for me. Artist needs to file Nintendo style DMCA against Powder. Hopefully they do. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be able to. It's too expensive, right? It's not gonna be possible for them. Right. If I keep engaging with it, she wins, right? She wants to make people upset. She knows the controversy. She knows talking about it creates the results that she wants, you know? So it does suck. It does suck. Exactly, yeah. Even if bolds her, it also inoculates people against her. It's tough. It's a tough situation we put in, but yeah, let's see, gonna rage bait. Yeah, and she's not gonna ever empathize about any of this, right? Like, this is her intention, so it is what it is. And normally I never say I assume intention, but based on all of her actions, we understand her intention, right? So there you go, guys. That's all I gotta say about Powder. I don't know what else to say, right? Like, there it is. So, Revenant, thank you so much for the 7 months, dude. I appreciate you. And Color Me Happy, thank you for the raid, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. We were talking about what's going on in VTuber news. So, I mean, not engaging with it means you can keep doing it potentially. Escalating, which means also she can win. Kind of a catch-22, exactly. Again, I weighed this carefully. I always weigh carefully, but in this particular one, I'm like, yeah, no, this to me is just factually wrong. For you to post this is factually, morally corrupt. Exactly, systems. And on to the next topic, don't last too long on it, yeah. Well, guys, we gotta go take a look here. As a follow-up to Jelly, that is right, Jelly from Face Connect decided to issue an apology for everything that has happened the past couple weeks. If you guys remember, just a little recap. Jelly made a post about a Minecraft educational DLC where she was like, this shouldn't be included in the game. It was actually completely optional content. And she said she didn't want politics in Minecraft. Well, again, this is entirely optional DLC. Wasn't even the base game. This blew up in quite a big way. FaZe issued an apology, which kind of threw Jelly under the bus a bit. I do think that FaZe overreacted, where it was something they could have said, hey, Jelly, you know, delete the tweet, and that's it, right? You know, solve it behind closed doors. But I do think that, you know, FaZe really overdid it, right? But Jelly decided here to drop an apology, so let's listen to her. So, and for anybody that thinks that she did do it on her own volition, we'll go look at some other posts here in a second. But anyway, here we go, guys.
Hello? Yeah, so,
yeah, once Asma got a hold of it, it was on fire.
Dude, this is like giving a speech in like high school, but like to way more people. Anyways, so as some of you might know, sorry, I'm getting really distracted by the alerts. Sorry, one sec. Stop, don't laugh. Okay, but as some of you might know, I've jorked too close to the sun on Twitter.com.
I jorked too close to the sun.
I just want to take this moment to say that okay, it's really no big deal, but I am sorry to my friends and my company for making it. I wrote this on my own, by the way, for you know, making it kind of, you know, suck on Twitter.com.
So she does acknowledge she made the post herself. She wrote this herself. Nobody is forcing her to do it, right? She wrote it on her own volition. The other thing too is just like, let's be real, guys. Jelly's tweet, she shouldn't have made it, right? Yes, did FaZe blow it up past where it should have been? Absolutely. FaZe definitely misstepped in that regards. But also, like, her tweet was just not needed in the first place.
And I'm also sorry to you guys for no, dude, no, wait, hold on. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you and stressing you out, most importantly. That's all. I feel kind of bad for, you know, stressing you out with everything and also not streaming, and I feel bad for that. That is what I feel bad for. Also, just to clarify, I'm not a racist, I'm not a bigot.
I don't think that Jelly was ever a racist or a bigot, right? I think we all can sit here and agree. Jelly is not racist at all, right? It was more just like, dude, you had a bad take and you should have educated yourself before making game. And that was it. That was literally it. But again, FaZe threw her ass under the bus with that post, right? Because it just absolutely blew up. But it didn't need to be. They could have just been like, hey, let's talk about this behind closed doors. You guys know my opinion. I've already made my opinion very, very clear from prior coverage. But exactly, it was just a tasteless comment, right? But, you know, I guess she felt like she needed to apologize. I'm not going to complain, right? I mean, I think that that's nice, but I also think that FaZe really made a big mistake on this one.
And most importantly, I would like to thank you for the support, for all the support, all the kind words, the kind marshmallows. And because of you guys, I will be okay. Everything will be okay. And, yeah. Thank you guys for waiting. That's all. I just feel bad for stressing you guys out and, you know, doing all that.
Yeah, absolutely, Sid. I feel you on that. Like, I think she's probably just drained. And again, like, it was just an uninformed post, right? It was not the end of the world. She's not racist. She's not a bigot. It was a very, in all honesty, it was just like, yeah, you shouldn't have posted that. But at the end of the day, very small mistake in the grand scheme of things, right, chat? I mean, what she did is very, very different from this, right? Like, I mean, opposite sides of the spectrum. I get it. She didn't want to engage with this. She shouldn't have commented in the first place. I mean, I agree, right? I agree. But at the end of the day, like, it really was not. It was something where she just needed to inform herself, and she even said she did. So it's like, okay, you know what? We're all good, Jelly. But the way that FaZe treated her, right? The way that FaZe made that announcement, you know, added the stuff about racism and bigotry, it really implied that she made those kind of statements when I don't think she did.
So yeah. Yeah, mostly just that. It's really no big deal. My alerts are broken. That's another thing I want to say sorry for. I spent like 15 minutes trying to fix my alerts before the stream started.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Clara anymore. We're going to talk about Jelly. Because that is a whole nother can of worms.
I think my stream elements is borked.
Yeah, I understand, Ken. I mean, I got you, dude. I got you. I think even though it lets a bad taste in your mouth, I think it's worth it at least. Like, keeping it in the back of your mind and acknowledge, right?
Yeah. Anyways.
Holy music. Yeah, you know, Mask, again, I think as a Wizard Rumor alt account too, there's just no way they could address it. Same with the docs as well. They just couldn't do it. That's pretty much all she had to say right there, chat, was just Ollie at the start right there. So I do like the intro animation. I think it's cute, yeah. So this is what Jelly had to say, chat. Jelly goes on to share a message with everybody as well. Exactly, Dan. That's literally exactly how I feel. So this is what Jelly had to say, chat.
Can now say, love you guys more than anything. You've been unnecessarily kind to me, and that means a lot. The kindness you show to me could probably save anyone's life, meaning, you are collectively one of my reasons to live. And I think that's pretty awesome, and I am stupidly lucky. Ah wah 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 wah.
Ah wah 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 wah. So very nice message here from Jelly. On top of that as well, Luby actually adds a message here. Looking at this thread here, they're just talking about some stuff coming up with FaZe, right? But chat, look, that's you. Luby goes on to say, I'm gonna say it for the record because it's genuinely stupid at this point. Nobody was forced or even asked at all to do anything. Spreading your hatred to other talents who have no part in this, especially when you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Thank you. I think this is important to remember, chat, considering the current going on. I don't think anybody is forced to do anything, right? So I think this is a great point by Lumi. All these people are like, oh yeah, like, you know, they forced Jelly this or that. I mean, she said directly she decided to do it, right? So I think anybody that wants to sit there and like harp on, oh yeah, no, they made her do it, this and that. Dude, she literally said she did it on her own volition. You know, again, like, I think Lumi's point stands really strong here. And I agree with her 100%. So just keep that in mind, guys. I know a lot of people are going to be like, hey, serious about everything, but I think it's an important consideration. So, to me, there'll be no need to apologize, but won't say what she has to do. There's more than enough people on the internet doing that, sure. I'll acknowledge that Jelly is not American. Yep, exactly, Mask. And that was where a lot of ignorance came from, right? I think it was something that I've acknowledged as well that I think a lot of people just forget. Yeah, exactly. I agree. When people just like do this shit, it's always problematic. Like, just, dude, like, nobody's gonna make a statement unless they want to, right? And if they're forced to do something, they're gonna push back against that behind closed doors, right? So, I don't know. I do understand people do get forced into situations they don't agree with. I do get that as well, but they're also not gonna say what they said at the start of their stream like that. So that is the Jelly situation, chap. However, I do want to talk about recently what's going on with Demi and Olivia Monroe. So, guys, I do want to make sure you understand this is all rumors. This is all alleged. I don't want my coverage today to be like, oh, it's definitively this, right? Because the thing is, there's a lot to it that I just can't. I can tell you what I think, and I can tell you what my things that I see, but you know, it's alleged still, right? So Demi goes on to post a tweet that says, "Why is nobody talking about the blatant view botting in the VTuber sphere?" Now, let's be honest, guys. There's a lot of view botting everywhere. Like even just IRL streaming. Like, look at Tectone. He just admitted that he did view botting, so we know it's a thing, right? However, guys, you know, Demi goes on to say the most blatant ones I've seen is Olivia Monroe. That's a pretty strong statement, right, guys? Maybe you don't know Olivia Monroe. Olivia Monroe, of course, larger creator. Here's her ballerina model. You know, just very classic VTuber creator, right? Demi goes on to say this year about Mythic Talent as well, which I think is the who supports Olivia.
Why many other streamers as well are frustrated about this. I spoke to Olivia Monroe's talent agency at Mythic Talent that mostly her viewership are bots. They said it's not their problem. FYI, since she average 5,000 plus, of mostly bots, she gets 5 figures per sponsor. Sponsors pay by average viewership, that's an opportunity lost to someone else ESP in that said talent agency.
I mean, I think Demi's fine.
I'm in another so this
just had
doesn't
that one
affect
backcrash
me.
out.
But it must be frustrating since that budget could have went to supporting another streamer who doesn't have 90% of their views faked.
So again, she's basically saying like, oh, she's getting these sponsorships that are giving her a big payout, and that's not right.
It isn't an issue of them view botting, it's the issue of fraud. You're poisoning the well for the others. Ruining the trust between sponsors and content creators. I decided to speak up because of this, not anything else. If she's being bought cause of someone else, I sincerely don't care. She's still being paid by fake numbers and earning by these bots.
So of course, PB Slayer goes on to say, I love you, Demi, but it's kind of ironic to fake post about it. This is why no one is talking about it. Nobody says any names, so I generally have no idea who you're talking about. And of course, she did go on to add the stuff here about Olivia Monroe after she got it. But Demi said, sorry for the fake posting. It wasn't intentional. Just want to see the thoughts on Twitter before I said anything. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Taking the thoughts on Twitter is just not the way to go, right? You know, Kitsune goes on to say, hey, this is the reason why nobody calls it out. One, they're doing it to themselves. Two, they're afraid of community backlash because they'll be labeled jealous. And boring, among other things, potentially even harassed. Seen it happen many times. But let's be honest, a lot of top streamers are being botted. Either them doing it themselves or a fan doing it, right? Tina says, I think it's hesitant. People are hesitant to call it out because the backlash from other communities is just not worth it. Monica says, I hate bots so much. Guy says, all the large streamers do it. Doesn't matter if they're a VTuber or not. So, of course, guys, I want to show you a little bit of stuff here, right? So Demi did talk about this on her live stream. Of course, this person goes on to OP, says, you just accuse her on your stream of trying to kill VTubing by poisoning the well of sponsorships for everybody. This is all malice. Well, let's listen to him.
It's important to talk about this because she is literally ruining for other streamers to get actual sponsors. Once you genuinely, like, do you understand the majority of us streamers, the reason why we stay afloat is because of sponsors? And if ever sponsors start to like question us and etc.,
I will have
literally
to say that
it will fuck
Viewbotting
us.
is
It's
just
poisoning the well.
anti-competitive.
It's poisoning for everybody else. So other VTubers are gonna be like, oh yeah, no, we don't want to work with VTubers anymore. This VTuber that we worked with was obviously Viewbotting apparently, and we didn't know. Boom. They will never work with VTubers anymore. They will associate VTubing with like Viewbotters, or etc. etc. It ruins everything. Once you poison.
I'm going to go back to the beginning, actually. I think the beginning is the part where there's a mistake here, but let me double check.
It's important to talk about this because she is literally ruining for other streamers to get actual sponsors.
I think the word alleged is very important that she did not add to. This seems very accusatory, right,
The jelly
chat?
stuff reminded
I
me
think
about
that's
a
my only
tweet about
problem with
adding
that.
Pride
It's
parades
very
to GTA
accusatory.
6 and I was commenting no, don't do it, bad idea, really bad idea to do that. Was
Okay.
blasted for it until I had to remind people it's a freaking GTA 6. You really want Pride parades in a GTA game? Good that it was just a joke post, and Rockstar has at least so much brain left that even they know that would be a really bad idea to add to any GTA game.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Deception, I have no idea. But to be fair, if she wasn't Delory doing it, that's the question why she was called out, right? It just feels very like, it feels very accusatory, and it's like, hey, dude, like, well, number one, we need the evidence, and number two, like, why are we jumping to this conclusion yet? Like, give me the evidence and say, like, alleged, right? Because you just don't know 100%. You just have no idea. And I think that you got to hold off a little bit, right? So we just need more info, right? I don't like to jump to conclusions because, again, we just don't know yet. So this feels like a very strong statement to make. I hope that you got some backing for it, right? So, of course, you know, kind of crazy here. Shondo steps into this situation, talking about, you know, what she had to say here. So let's listen to Shondo and what she said about it.
The biggest problem with this is that you are assuming here that the streamer, her agency, and her sponsors are all completely unaware, while someone completely unrelated to all of this is. I understand that viewbotting is a huge rampant issue in streaming, but this comes across incredibly inflammatory, and I just can't stand to see you talk about a dear friend of mine this way. The most I will say here, as I won't speak on her behalf, is that Olivia Monroe does not bot her viewership, and neither does any company or brand behind her. There is absolutely nothing you can do if your viewers are being artificially raised by a third party.
Yeah, and that's always a
You can tell your talent
consideration.
management, your partner manager, your sponsors even, but none of these people can do absolutely anything to stop this.
And this is the first thing I always consider, right, when we're looking at some of this viewbotting. Is this them, or is this something to do with the third party, right? Is it a viewer doing it? Is it the third party, etc., right? And it's just so hard to prove that somebody's botting, and that's why it's a problem, right? Because people just get away with it, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like, if this is something that you think is really strongly, you still allege it, right? You don't immediately go, oh my god, yeah, they're doing this, right? Like, you have to have a little bit of foresight, gather your evidence, right? Like, and Demi has a history of jumping the gun, right? So, and of course, Demi goes on to say, you know, all of my interactions with Olivia have been wonderful, and I don't doubt that she's a wonderful girl. My point still stands to have 90% botted viewers and take sponsors with this fake viewership. It's still insane. I said this in a stream. I don't wish malice towards her, but I personally, if it was botted for 2 years straight, it has to be done by someone who thinks it's helping her. Maybe she spoke out against it. It wouldn't really happen anymore. Or they're spamming and accepting every sponsor makes other people, and I included, think otherwise. I mean, I just don't know, Demi. That's the thing, right? That's like, oh, I hope she's able to address it properly. Wish for the best. I did check this morning. Olivia has not addressed it, by the way. Of course, Shondo says, I don't know you, and I don't know anything about you, Demi, and I have absolutely nothing against you, but please do not talk so confidently and cruelly towards one of the loveliest, brightest, happiest streamers on Twitch. There's no other streamer with their genuine level of good energy and kindness. One viewer, 100,000, Ollie's 1 in a million. Please don't be cruel to her. So, some Viewbotting is done by the sponsor themselves, exactly. So, we just don't quite have enough information right now. Now, what I will point out, chat, this is where I'm a little questioning, right? So, let's go take a look here. So this is viewer metrics, and we're actually going to dive into a little bit of viewer metrics here in just a second. But viewer metrics is on to say Olivia Monroe. Real viewer count of approximately 700. 6,000 chat connected bots with 5,000 view components entered at a steady rate in the first hour. These are the regular bots for this channel. After switching category, they're view botted by the sponsor. More on this later. So let's go take a look here what they are alleging here. So they're saying that, the bots kind of come in a little bit later. And again, it's coming from viewer metrics. So again, this is all alleged, right? But they're alleging that, authenticated bots versus users, right? They're saying that this large percentage is bots. Again, I don't know. I don't know if this is entirely true or not. It's hard to say, right? So let's actually go look at some viewer metrics, right, chat? Let me pull up the one I wanted to look up. I've been in always streams before. They can be speedy. This chats can be speedy, sure. So let me find let me pull this up here. So this is the stream stat or stream charts for Olivia Monroe, guys. So we're gonna look, right? Obviously a very high average viewership rate by viewers, followers gained. She gains I can't really see what this is. Is it 308 a day? So I mean that's quite a lot, right? Especially for like a larger streamer. Maybe we can do the same thing with Demi. I'm just gonna look at where her stats kind of fall and see if they fall remotely in line with that, right? So let's go take a look. Yeah, so she's gaining about 400 a day. Olivia's follower count, it's about the same. So, okay, I think that is at least similar, right? So let's go take a look here. Of course, the growth here, I mean, this looks pretty average, I will say. I mean, you see like the followers go up, the peak viewership is kind of falling in line with that. You're probably going to see something similar here with Demi as well, where she's had like this very like upward trajectory, right? Which makes sense. Some of these peak viewerships are very high. This might be from rates. I'm not really sure. Obviously, this is a very high one on this one day, but generally we're looking here at the yellow. She's had some dips and falls. So, but overall, it's been a very just kind of like slow, grind upward. Same here with Demi as well. Although Demi's she's kind of even out here, dip, but she went back up. So, I mean, it does seem kind of normal. I will say that, right? So, let's go take a look here to stream, and see what we can find that might tell us a little bit. So we'll go look at the 8th of February, chat. And I want to go look at Demi's most recent as well to give you another thing here too. That's true drops as well. She does a lot of sponsored streams. So let's go take a look at something, chat. So here is Demi's, right? It takes her kind of a bit to get going. Which is normal, right? You normally take about an hour to get going. And then she gets a peak viewership right here, and then she kind of drops down. This is very average, chat. For anybody that's not familiar with streams, it normally goes up, daddy's out, and then it goes down. That's very, very normal, chat. Very, very normal. Let's go take a look here at Olivia's. And this for me is, I think, the only part that I look at with the eyebrow raise. Again, I'm not alleging that she has botted, but I want to show you this next part, and I'm just kind of like, a little bit, right? So, as you can see here, she has her slow rise, and then it tapers off and it just kind of stays there, right? This is a little unusual. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little. Is it unfathomable? Unfathomable? Is that a word? Unfathomable? I don't think it's unfathomable, right? But this is wild retention to keep this like going, right? It's a little unusual. You don't normally see that, right? So I do at least want to point this out. This is my only kind of red flag. Again, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible. But most people don't have this type of stuff, right? I think Demi's a good example. You know, goes up, tapers off, kind of goes down. It might rise back up with a raid or two. You can see here, like, she had, like, a raid, so that kind of gave her a jump. You know, she had a raid a little bit later towards the end, so that kind of, you know, goes with that bounce here. So, I don't know. That's my only thing, right? Let's go take a look here at some of her other streams. Let's go look. Which, again, I'm not saying that she is, right? I'm just pointing out that that is unusual, at least in my... Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, so I can only get two. I think that I've looked at a lot of stats in my time, chat. I mean, I do consultation work, so this isn't unusual for me to look at this type of stuff, right? I look at my own stuff like this every quarter or so. But it's a little weird. It's a little weird for me, chat. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it's for sure, but yeah, it's a little off. It's a little off, right? So, I don't know. I think that we would need harder proof, and that's where I'm going to kind of leave it, at least for me, chat. I'm just kind of like, I think we need harder proof right now. I don't really have much to say or add to this, other than this is unusual, and that's kind of it. Do I think that she's botting? I can't tell you, Chad. Do I have an opinion? No, I need more proof. You know what I mean? So right now, it's just kind of inconclusive to me. Well, let me ask you all, what do you think about this? Do you think she is? Do you think she's not? Well, what's your thoughts, chat? What do you think? What's up, Rashad? How are you? Thank you for the ring, cutie. Appreciate you. Welcome in, you get a metal concert. Thanks for being here. All I can confirm to you is there are 2 streams where that is the case, right? Sure, I got you. That could make sense here or there. She was running a drop to need people to watch like 6 hours. Yeah. If you think someone's botting her, don't know if she's doing herself some. And it's even the other thing, right, Nate? Let's say that she's proven a bot. You can never prove that she's done it herself unless you have like a screenshot of whatever she would use to bot, which I don't know. Is it like a website? Is it an app? I've seen different like things, right? How people do it. So I don't know the full process on how to viewership bot. I'll be completely honest, chat. I've seen that one lady that got caught had like an app. I've seen websites exist for it, so I don't know how people legitimately do it. I mean, it's not legitimate at all because they're botting, but you get what I mean. Like, I don't know how they do it, so I guess we would need like a screenshot to go along with it, right? Usually you never know unless the streamer still reports like Tectone. Right, exactly. Or there was that one streamer, right, that she had the app up. It was a while ago. I'm gonna need further information from this suspicion, yeah. I mean, like, I can tell you, I know a VTuber that was getting botted that she had no idea, but it was somebody just doing it, right? It was fan that thought they were being supportive. They just, all of a sudden, their viewership was just, like, super climbing, and I'm like, well, that's kind of odd. So then I looked into it, and I'm like, so all your other stats are the same except your viewership? That's a little suspect. I mean, to Olivia's, to be fair to Olivia as well, her follower count, like at least right here from what I can see, is kind of like, you know, she had like 320 this day. You know, it's still her follower count is rising, right? It may not be as fast as Demi's is, but I mean, she is gaining followers at a rate that is going along with the rise in viewership. So that's a good correlation, right? Other times I've seen botting, it seems negligible, always less than around 15%, yeah. I've seen it happen, and have had to ban video those accounts before those bot channels, yep. So I guess we'll just wait for more info, chat. I'll let you know if anything comes out. We're definitely going to need somebody that could really dive into this on the back end that I just can't see. But like I told you guys, you know, looking here at what this account said here. Again, I don't know if this is hard proof or anything, right? But Viewer Metrics does offer a lot of tools to detect Twitch view bots, right? So they do say that there's a very large amount of bots. I don't know how much you can trust this, but I'll at least put it out there. Yeah, exactly, Brisson. That retention is pretty nuts. Yeah, I mean, it is a great point as well, Neo. I mean, like, do they equally correlate? She's been around for a long time, too. Let's go take a look here. I mean, there's always nuance in everything, right, Neo? So, like, for that, does the follower count equal her average viewership? Who knows, right? Like, if we go and look at Dimmy, right? Dimmy started kind of randomly streaming back on these dates. She had a break. She came back in 2024. So I would say right here is where she really started streaming, right? So for Dimmy, like, the past 2 years have been where she's really streamed, right? So for her, this is kind of like her growth window, right? For Olivia, Olivia's growth window has been a lot longer. She's constantly pretty much streamed. She's had some little breaks in there, but she's constantly streamed since 2022. So it might not be unheard of for her to have less followers per hour because she's been around longer. Just a consideration. Again, that could be easily proven wrong. Yeah, where's all that Twitch stepping up to stop viewership issues for the bots, right? So, having to do with massive following bots and view bots, a lot of the time it's either by followers or people who don't like you, so they Dimmy ought to wait until definitive proof. Now, one thing I do want to throw at you here really quick, chat, is the size of Dimmy overall, right? So, let's go look at Dimmy, right? I mean, decent size. Twitter's really not a good gauge. What I like to use as a gauge for the success of a creator is their YouTube. So here is Dimmy's just like main channel, you know, whatever, right? But she does have a Reacts channel, which I believe is quite big, right? Yeah, and this one is 408,000 subscribers, chat. I mean, that is insane. So for her to have an average viewership that she has, let's see, average viewers of 2,800, pushing 2,900 with an account that big on YouTube, I would say that that absolutely correlates. That is not unheard of at all. That makes a lot of sense, right? So let's go take a look here at Olivia. And I gotta tell you guys, from what I remember, Olivia does not have a big YouTube, which is kind of, it's a little odd, I will say, for you to have that disparity, right? Yeah, I mean, hers is very small, right? I mean, she does upload to it pretty constantly, right? She has these videos, a lot of shorts. So, is it possible? Absolutely. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I will at least point out that there's the normal YouTube to Twitch comparison isn't there. And again, it's entirely possible, right? I'll show you another great example. Ariel. Ariel is a wonderful example of this as well. Ariel's, stuff, she doesn't have a very big YouTube, right? She only has 18.3 thousand subscribers, but her Twitch viewership is extremely high. So you can have those moments. It's completely possible. So this is why I'm kind of like, guys, there's really not enough proof to prove otherwise, right? So we just don't know yet. We just don't know. Yeah, Ariel's YouTube is smaller than mine is, and she has like 4 to 5 times as many Twitch viewers, so it can absolutely happen. Yeah, I mean, rates, well, that is something we can see, actually, Cave. So, that was something I considered as well. There's always outliers, but take a look here. Doesn't look like she had any rates that name. Same with the other one that we looked at as well. I think maybe she had one. She had 2 really small ones, so didn't have any rates those days. Again, not proof of. Again, I think you're innocent until proven guilty, right? So, sure, absolutely, Travis. I mean, like, regardless, I'm just saying that looking at their sizes in comparison don't always mean anything, right? That's my point of covering this to this as well, right? Doesn't mean anything, so we'll see what happens, chat. I'll let you know, but right now, it's just all alleged, okay? It's all alleged, so yeah, she's also very family friendly, so that might be helpful where Demi is doing more like adult related content, or at least like 18 plus, so Ali is very family friendly, and that's a great point as well, so we'll see, chat, we'll see. Again, very inconclusive. Yeah, I just don't know what to tell you. Other than this is a little weird. That's it. So, guys, I do want to talk about something recently that happened here with Nux Taku. And that's right, guys. Nick Andros, who is actually a newer, news channel. He's not been around for a long time. Came up with a new video here talking about Nux Taku. Where Nux Taku was actually alleged in this video of compromising child safety. I'm gonna show you some of this video, chat, because it's something, that's for sure. So of course Nick says Nux Taku's kick chat is set to subscribe only, trying to protect your audience from getting a clue about what's going on. Well, anyway, I want to show you part of this video here. So we're gonna go take a look, guys. And here we go. I'm just gonna skip to the end of it, because this has the most relevant parts that we're looking for, right?
It's fine if it's not sent to Nux.
Anyway, here we go. So, in this video, right, Nick goes on to talk about, like, Tactone, a little bit of history of Nux, etc., right? But we're going to talk about Nux's Discord server in this. Now, I do want to show you Nux's response as well. So sit tight on this, but here we go, guys. Let's do it.
Even the most basic, common sense rule for an NSFW community was too much to ask. On December 30th of 2021, Nux Taku would launch his Discord server.
That's right, I opened a public Discord server. I swore to myself I would never do it because the degeneracy would be too much, and the degeneracy is already too much. So join that Discord server. It's a public server. It's open. 16 or older though, please?
I am happy that he has a minimum age rule this time, but setting it to 16 is a massive self-report that he is aware that a large chunk of his audience is underage. It's also highly questionable, given his decision to launch the server with a set of NSFW channels.
So I will say, chat, if you're gonna have a server that, you know, minors can be interacting with, yeah, there should not be like adult-related content in it right now. You can lock it off. There are ways to do that. So I'm not gonna sit here and say like Nux is guilty right now. But you know, again, like if you have like adult-related stuff, it needs to be kept away from minors, right? That's very clear. That's not up for conversation. Minors should not be interacting with adult-related content. End of story.
Including an NSFW voice channel. To be honest, I was surprised that there were NSFW channels when the server rules said 16 and up, because NSFW is supposed to be 18 and up. I mean, if you already watch Nux, fair. To be clear, those channels were supposed to be only for adults.
I mean, like, the thing is on YouTube, right? You can't really prevent people from watching, like, that content unless it's, like, just automatically put as, like, 18 plus only. I think that might be a setting, right? But Nux's old content, like, wasn't even... Well, actually, some of it was, so... But I don't think you can just stop, like, people from doing that, right? Like, and sadly, minors are always going to interact with adult content, whether they should or shouldn't, right? But the point is here is, like, this is something that you can completely control, and you shouldn't have them be giving them that access freely, right? At least on YouTube, there are more moderation tools.
But given the state of Discord's age verification, setting a channel into NSFW mode doesn't really do anything to stop minors from accessing it. All they have to do is lie about their age to Discord. The channels were fortunately removed 6 days after the server was open to the public. The announcement of their removal does mention issues like minors sneaking in by lying about their age.
So at least they did address this and they fixed it, right? So obviously they felt like people were circumventing it. They did the right thing here, right?
However, the main reason was that having NSFW channels disqualified the server from Discord partnership. Some users protested. Nux's content already involved a lot of NSFW media, so why not allow people to post it in his community? A staff member
I don't know if all
responded that
states
the
are
age
different,
group of
but
the
I know
Billies,
that-
that being the name
I know
of
the different
Nuxtaku's
countries are
fandom,
different.
wasn't appropriate for it. So even Nuxtaku's Discord staff members knew that a large chunk of his audience were minors. The decision to have NSFW channels on the server was
That was
already
a-
questionable in the
That was already a really bad move, in my opinion. Just
first
saying.
place, but it becomes even more questionable when you remember that Nuxtaku made that predator catfishing video months earlier.
I wanted to make
Oh, you
this
watched
sort
this,
of an
Minecraft?
educational topic and bring light to an issue that's really big. There's a lot of predators on Discord. Like, a lot.
There's a lot of predators on Discord. Like, a lot.
How do you make a video raising awareness of Discord predators, but then set up a Discord server which will facilitate adult conversations between adults and minors? But hey, they deleted the NSFW channels quickly, so the problem is solved, right?
I mean, again, there is a moral and ethical responsibility that you have to be aware of at all times, right? As a content creator.
Not necessarily. Nuxtaku shouted out to Discord on
Yeah, I
December
agree, Mike.
28th on his Twitch and December 30th on YouTube. His audience floods in, there's problems with minors showing up in the NSFW channels, and then they find out that having them at all would disqualify them from Discord partnership. Instead of wiping them out instantly, they announce they'll be deleted in 2 days. Why? So that people can pay their respects to a Discord.
Yeah, that is actually weird. Why would you keep that around for multiple days? Like, nah, dude, get rid of it. Like, you know it's a problem. Why are you waiting? Like, yeah, very poor decision making there.
channel? I saw a member of the council mention that the users on the NSFW channels set
Yeah, I
up their
really
own
just want to
fan
go through the most
NSFW
gaming
server,
parts, Cave.
which I have
Which
to
are these
guess
two
the staff
sections.
allowed them to promote on those channels. I can't confirm that since those channels are now gone, but I saw one user even in the general channel promoting their own NSFW server. So all of those minors who were lying about their age in the first place and accessing the NSFW channel on
dude,
Nux's
wee
server
woo,
would just get funneled to that fan server instead. Who was moderating it? Who knows?
What the
What
fuck?
age verification standards were they going to uphold, assuming the admins are not minors themselves, or even worse, adult predators? There's a lot of those on Discord apparently. I'd like to remind you at this point that Ava Chris Tyson's Discord server was private when the NSFW channels were open in 2018. It was closed when the server was open to the public in January 2019. In Tyson's case, the drama was about LavaGS, Nathan, and apparently a
Oh my
handful
God,
of
that
other
whole
minors
thing
being
was
present on the
nuts.
server while it was private.
Yeah, that
the
whole
initial
situation was
accusations made by
crazy.
Prism 42 also included claims of Tyson grooming LavaGS, but no evidence for that was ever found. The Discord just had NSFW content available to minors. By those standards, Nuxtaku's Reddit was already way worse, and his Discord way worse 4 years after Tyson's Discord, when there was more of a general awareness of these issues. Tyson's server apparently still had sexual chats or juvenile banter.
Yeah, just
after
remove
went
it, and then
public.
it out.
But
It's
looking at
gone,
the kinds
dude,
of
like-
terms that were frequently used on Nux's Discord, there was plenty of that to go around. If NSFW content was now banned from Nuxtaku's Discord, how did they handle Nuxtaku's NSFW content? If the thumbnails contained NSFW content, the staff members would remove their embeds. Darn Nux using blatantly NSFW thumbnails that stay in the Discord cache after he censors them. Some users would still post NSFW images from Nux's content or the content of his friends, and the staff, despite reacting to them, wouldn't delete them. God damn it, Nux. We're trying to keep—
I mean, like, is that... Yeah, I mean, I guess that is not safe for work. I mean, it's censored, right? But the implication of it. So I get where he's coming from on that.
the order. In a recent one, he used a thumbnail from an actual porn video. Ah, okay, so Nux again with the nip slip, I see. This is Pokemon branded Lolly Bestiality
What the fuck
in
is
January
that?
2022.
What the hell is
According
that,
to the
dude?
Wayback Machine, this thumbnail was left like this for months. This is on par with
What?
his idea to make Twitch streamers say the N-word. We removed the embed. Nux is pushing the limits, Lamau. What is he pushing the
the
limits
fuck?
of?
Not
The thumbnail
Bidoof,
of his
bro.
latest video. Then why he do it non-censored then? That's the big question. Here's a bigger question. If the age group of Nux's audience is
Yeah,
too
I feel like
young
there's an
for his Discord
obligation to... If you're making, like, adult-related content or having adult conversations and stuff, your Discord should be adult only, right?
community to have NSFW channels, but most of the people on this server came from Nux's channel, why is the content of that channel too NSFW for the demographic of the Discord? Isn't this massively self-incriminating? Despite having this long
Yeah, a little.
history of running
I mean,
communities
again, the first thing you gotta do when you come into my server is click the check mark that says you're 18 plus, right? Like, because there's just an obligation that if you're gonna be talking about serious adult topics, you cannot involve minors in that, dude. Like, you don't want to expose minors to that kind of stuff, right? It's your moral obligation. You're supposed to do that, you know? Like, for me, Vibramba wasn't a lot of his earlier content, like him reviewing hentai. It was. Yeah, it was. I mean, he's had like funnier kind of topics that were non-adult, but yeah, literally Red.
where minors were exposed to adult content. And
Yeah,
that being
kids
the
should
very
not be
core of his
interacting
YouTube
with
content for years,
adult-related content,
in 2024, Taku wasn't only criticizing, but grandstanding over Ava Chris Tyson. He was also putting lollibeat into his content before and after he was supposed to confront Shadman for drawing lollibeat on September 30th of 2021.
Oh, that is a whole separate conversation,
However,
bro.
Taku's numerous lies about his association with Shadman is something for a different video.
Advocated
There's
for
also the
interspecies
Shoujo
reviewers.
drama to cover,
What is that?
which lots of people think he was in the right
Oh
about.
my god, I don't want to talk about that shit. Not again. That's an anime, right? Is there something wrong with it though?
That is not the case at all, but again, different video. It's a real shame because what I'm going to reveal next is likely going to kill his career. Not to imply what I presented earlier isn't already bad enough, but this is just beyond forgiveness.
Yeah, so here
You
we go,
see,
chat.
there is another Taku Discord server,
We're going to be talking about the second server, and this is where it gets kind of crazy.
even older than his subreddit. I saw an ad for it which made me very intrigued.
Really help keep my channel afloat. All patrons are invited to the Discord server where we hang out having a great time.
Yeah,
and
same here,
unlike
same here.
Tumblr, we have an NSFW section.
One night stand the anime, what? Got dropped by Funimation for a gender swap storyline. Oh, wow. That's a can of worms. That's Ichi about two guys adventure go to different species brothels.
Welcome to the Nexus. Taku
All right, so it's a whole can of worms. Got you. I'll look into it after stream.
is Patreon Discord, founded in April of 2018. In its current state, the server is almost totally inactive, but the NSFW channel is still here. Despite having an NSFW channel, the server's rules mention nothing about a minimum age, and there
Okay, that's problematic, dude. Having a not safe for work section and no age limitation is pretty nuts. So I would assume that for Patreon, you would say there's got to be something on Patreon, right? That says like, oh yeah, like there's an age requirement or something
there
like
is
that,
nothing
right?
about it being 18 plus on the Patreon side either.
Oh my god. Never mind, chat.
What's special about this community is Nux's level of engagement. He wasn't talking to people on his Reddit, and he kept the interactions on the public Discord
That is
to a
a
minimum.
huge misstep. That is negligence, right? That's just straight up negligence.
However, on the Patreon Discord, at least in 2018, 2019,
I got you, Max.
he would actually talk to people and even hang out in voice chats with them. Here we can actually see him talking with the artist behind his 2019 era character. The original high-resolution files are here as well. This one, where Nux is rubbing his hands, has the file name nux_merchant.png. Very interesting. The NSFW channel wasn't there from the
Why is
start.
that interesting?
We can trace its creation to this exchange from October 15th, 2018, where we can see this user, who from now on will be called Red, repeatedly asking Nux to create
Now, why is that
it.
interesting?
If
I
you
don't
look
get
at the
it.
time and date of these messages, the NSFW channel was made 2 minutes later. In response to this, Red raised their Patreon pledge, and Nux gave them a thumbs up. For a brief moment, let me take you to August of 2024. Taku is finally being pressed about his past.
It's an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Oh. Okay, I think I get what you're poking at. Okay, I get what you're poking at. I got you. I got you. Yes, I get it now. Okay. Sorry, it took me a second. I get it now.
Past content, and he was actually pushed into making
Yeah, I
it
was like, why? Oh, okay, I get it. I get it now. No, I get it. I understand now. I understand.
response.
The biggest shock to me to this day,
Yeah,
entering
thank you for
the broader
explaining that.
commentary sphere, was
That literally went way over my head, dude.
the dangers lurking around every corner in regards to children. Children are
I
not
thought he
safe
was
on
Jewish.
the internet. I only became chronically online after high school, but I couldn't imagine what it would do to me if I was in some YouTuber's Discord server at the age of 12 or 14.
You couldn't imagine. You don't need to. Red joined the server on September 7th. On day 1, they openly declared themselves to be 14 years old.
Oh, someone joined voice chat. Yes. Oh no, I'm 14. I'm like 14, man. Now, let's say hypothetically this dude was lying about his age, right? For someone to say that and they're not for action to be taken, like for you to take action against that, right? Especially somebody that says they're underage like that, and a not safe for work or Discord with not safe for work stuff. Nah, dude. If somebody jokes about that shit, even if they're not, especially in my chat too, I've had people say that, you're done, you're gone. Like, we don't fuck around with that shit. You can ask all of my mods, anybody that has ever fucked around and said, oh yeah, like I'm only, 13, no, you're gone, dude. It's immediate diaper shot. There's no questions asked. Like, you're out of here, dude. We do not play with that.
They would later claim to be 15 multiple times, but as they openly stated, they were lying about their age. Red was born in 2004. They had turned 14 soon before they joined the server. The Discord was a pretty small clique, and soon enough, basically everyone on the server knew that Red was underage.
So again, chat, everybody knew this person was underage, and they did absolutely nothing about it.
Despite this, Taku made the NSFW channel for them a month later, and within a year, they had posted 242 messages on the channel. There's also an instance where another user pinged Red into the NSFW channel. As far as I can tell, this behavior was not punished.
Literally pinged them for not safe for work stuff. They're a minor.
So a 14-year-old paid Taku
I'm
money
really
to be
interested
on
to
his
hear
Patreon Discord server. He made
response
the
to this.
NSFW channel for them, after which he accepted even more money from them, and allowed them to post onto that channel for over a year before.
I mean, again, chat, we gotta hear what Nox says, so we gotta give him a chance to explain it. Maybe he's got something for us.
But
Gotta
did
hear all the
Taku
sides,
know
right?
that Red was underage? There is no message of Nox acknowledging Red's age. However,
He actually
it is
did respond.
extremely unlikely that he didn't know. In this conversation from earlier, where Red says they're lying about their age, Taku shows up soon afterwards. In this conversation, there's some kind of an ERP going on in the general chat, which is...
Dude, you were right there. You were right there. Oh no.
interrupted by Red. Red is told not to get involved.
I don't know how you're
because
gonna
they're
defend yourself
underage.
on this one,
After
dude.
Red says the conversation is making them gag, another user
You're
jokes,
right there,
"Oh
dude."
no, we better stop if we are gagging a minor." Red pinged Taku soon afterwards, but Nux didn't show up. This is Mintheus Mouselord, or Mitochondria,
Oh my
or
God,
Mito.
dude.
According to Taku, they were the best poster on the NSFW channel. In this conversation about BDSM, we can see Red asking Mito to send their presentation on sex toys to other users. Note, I just made the presentation because Red was clueless. After Bex mentions having a high tolerance to weirdness, Nux shows up to say,
All of these people that are in this server are deplorable, by the way. Interacting with this minor and sharing stuff about sex toys with a minor? What the fuck is wrong with you?
proud fanbase. Gremmen
All
asked
of these
Mito to
people.
send the presentation to Nux. I think that Red already sent it to him. No, I told ya. Never sent it, but I can now.
And Nux responded right here. Hold on, let me back it up a second. You can see.
Red was clueless.
Yeah, hold
After
on.
Bex mentioned
Yeah, proud fan
having
base,
a
so
high tolerance
absent,
to
right?
weirdness,
But
Nux
there's
shows
another
up
one.
to say, proud fanbase. Gremmen asks
He says, send it to Nux. No, I told you. Nux, what are we sending me? Never sent it, but I can now. I mean, it's right there, dude. What do you mean? Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no.
Mito to send the presentation to Nux. I think that Red already
Yeah,
sent
very,
it to
very
him.
damning, chat.
No, I told ya. Never sent it, but I can now.
I mean, again, let's hear his
sending me?
defense.
A sex toy presentation. Why? Lol. We needed to explain sex toys to Red. Nah, it's fine if it's not sent to Nux. Already did, Mito. I'm not doing honest descriptions on all Maito's sex toys. Few minutes later at 2:16, Nux says, "Very cool, Maito, very cool." Nux Taku has now received a direct message from a minor on his server containing a link to a sex toy presentation that was made for.
You cannot set up servers and allow adults and minors to interact like that when you're making adult content yourself, let alone a not safe for work like channel. Like, this is basic responsibility, Nux.
What adult is clueless about sex toys? That's a massive red flag
I know, dude. I haven't
that
even...
Red is a minor.
I know.
There was a previous time a month earlier when users in the voice chat text channel begged Nux Taku to join the VC because they needed help explaining sex toys to Red. Again, what adult doesn't know what sex toys are? In this example, Nux Taku declined the invitation to join the VC, but he absolutely was in voice chats with Red multiple times. One of my agents reached out to Red and asked him about their time on the server. They were willing to share their DMs with Nux to show that they did actually send him the sex toy presentation. So that actually happened. It wasn't just a joke. When asked about whether they were ever in voice chats with Nux Taku, Red recalled being in a VC with him plenty of times, couple of times a week. They'd be surprised if Nux didn't notice them being underage, since everyone else did. However, they don't recall Nux ever commenting on their...
You were in a voice chat with this person. How could you not tell? How could you not tell? Or at least ask.
...age. Now, I am not a journalist. I'm just a guy on the internet. However, I know you're not supposed to take one person's word and just run with it. Red could be misremembering, they might have some bias for or against Nux Taku.
We haven't talked about it yet, Mike, but we're going to get into it.
Corroborating evidence. On December 15th, 2018, Nux Taku pinged a deleted user to a VC. Red says Nux is in VC, everyone flood, implying they joined the voice channel with Nux. There's a similar message from January 15th, 2019.
I mean, for them to talk to them and to be like, oh, my voice was squeaky back then, like, they're soft confirming that they were indeed a minor.
If we scroll down a bit, we can see a screenshot showing Nux 15. In the VC with Red. The real Nux Taku here is the real Nux Taku.
That's what he said.
Here's another screenshot from the time. Same name, same avatar. The current music channel used to be the old voice text channel. And on it, we can sometimes see Red and Nux posting things close to each other that only makes sense
so
if
it only
they
makes
were
sense
in the
if they were in a voice
VC
chat.
at the same time. Here, for example, Nux is working on a thumbnail. There's a message from Red, messages from Nux Taku, and then a message from Red. An hour later, messages from Nux Taku. In this one, we have a message from Red addressing Nux. Later a photo from Nux, then a photo from Red. In this instance, Red asks somebody to join the VC. Another user posts a caked up Charizard. Nux Taku shows a work-in-progress thumbnail. Message from Red, the Charizard from earlier is now on Nux's thumbnail. There's plenty of evidence of Red speaking, having audio issues, and other users commenting about their voice. So it's not like they never talked in the VC. I think this evidence sufficiently corroborates.
Time out. I want to see these comments. Hold on. Yeah, I want to see these comments. Hold on.
This instance, Red asked somebody to join the VC.
I need to see the comments.
Caked up Charizard. Nux Taku shows a
hold on here a
work-in-progress
second.
thumbnail.
I want to read these.
Message from Red,
I want to
the
read
Charizard
these.
from earlier is now on Nux's thumbnail. There's plenty of evidence of Red speaking.
Don't talk, please. We're listening to the stream. Unknown, you also need help. You need to. I don't need a therapist. Calls my therapist. Blah, 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 blah. We're all out on stream. How many times was to say this? Red, that roboting is real. What? Are you going to play Five Nights at Freddy's? Unknown, you're a Minecraft YouTuber. I'm getting suspicious. Oh, Red is alive.
And other users.
I can't talk, it's fine, Red. LOL, like indeed. I like the accent. Sounds refined. I was lucky to have a bilingual father. Do you speak Danish?
Is commenting about their voice. So it's not like they never talked in the VC. I think this evidence...
Okay, gotcha. So it's just evidence that they talked in the VC.
Sufficiently corroborates Red's recollection that they were in the VCs.
Yeah, like, at worst, Nux knew as a minor and still took their money. Like, the opposite of that, he was probably the most negligent person I've ever seen in my life.
Taku multiple times. I'm not sure about a couple times a week, but certainly multiple times. Red was already behaving in a pretty immature way, even in the text messages.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's acting like a minor, you know what I mean? Like, you can just somehow tell with certain people, especially like, oh, Nux is in the voice chat, flood it. Like, That's something like a kid would do, you know? Like he's acting like a
They
kid.
would spam emojis and walls of text. To believe
What's
that
up, Red? How are you?
Nuxtaku didn't know Red's age, you'd
Hi, Red. I was trying to ignore you for as long as possible, but, you know, I can't keep up the act forever, so how are you? We were talking about you the other day. It was all good things, by the way. I think I called you stinky, small arm, small brain, you know, all that good stuff. The normal. Ah, well, fuck you too, I guess. I said nice things, so I did. I didn't say nice things too.
have to believe he missed all of the instances when their age was mentioned. You'd have to believe no one told him Red was a minor in chats, VCs, or DMs, and that Nux didn't realize it from their voice when talking to them in VCs. This should already be enough to strongly conclude that Nuxtaku knew. But to show the full extent of the evidence and the full extent of Nuxtaku's beyond incomprehensible neglect, we need to introduce a new character.
Demon, who the fuck in my server goes, oh my god, Alara's in voice chat. Get there right now. Everybody cancel your plans. Alara's in voice chat. Go, 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 go. Nobody does that, dude. Nobody does that. Explode. Literally nobody does that, dude. A kid would do that. Actually, you know, I bet you now, I think you outed yourself, Time. I bet you do that every time. When I hop a voice chat, you're like, wild.
After joining the server, Red quickly made friends with another user called Alan Vebus. I know that Alan's avatar...
Yeah, but they don't... of course, Ty, like, that happens to me too. But they don't go, oh my god, type out, everybody flood the Discord. It's more about typing it out instead of, like, just doing the action, you know?
Star here looks an awful lot like Mr. Obvious from my engineer video, but they are not the same person. Alan was a small anime creator at the time.
Yeah, guys, you know I'm in my voice chat quite often, actually, because we play Night Rain together a lot, or I'm doing work, so...
And would promote his videos on Nux's Discord. The metadata of his channel reveals that he is from Romania, and he would often mention things about it on the server. There's a lot of conversations between them and Nuxtaku on the server, and Nux has mentioned Alan's name 100 times. He even shouted out Alan's channel in a video from October 22nd, 2018.
All patrons are invited to the Discord server, where we do things like make fun of Alan Weebus. If you don't know who Alan Weebus is, oh, trust me, $1 to the Patreon is worth it to meet the guy. He's in a special kind of category, where everyone that relates to him in any way is a tsundere, because we all constantly make fun of him and make believe we hate him, but we all low-key like him. And
I can't wait to get a voice chat next time. And Redclaw just fucking shows up like, you stupid fucking hell. Oh my god.
So thank you, Alan Weebus, for
Never
donating
getting a voice shout
$10
again,
on
chat.
Patreon. So now I get to shout you out in all my videos. Alan Weebus.
Mods pre-ban Redclaw from entering my server.
His channel is actually in the description. He makes funny shiz, and he takes the edge out of edgy, which leaves you just why? Like, why is he making this video? That kind of thing.
Pre-ban noted. Thank you, Satan. I appreciate it.
Alan was a very major contributor to the NSFW channel.
Oh my god.
However, according to Nux, they were still inferior to Mitochondria. He apparently got his material from following more than 300 hentai artists on Twitter. That's only a third of the amount that Tecton was following.
The sleight of hand there is insane. The fucking stray is insane. That's actually nuts. That's actually nuts. I mean, I know he talked about Tectone earlier in the video, but oh my god. The random stray there is kind of wild. That's nuts, dude. Holy.
Alan has made a lot of claims about their age, including saying that he was as young as 15. Plenty of users, including Nuxtaku, have also claimed Alan to be underage.
Dude, that's horrible. So he knew. He even shouted him out. Like, nah, dude. Now a benefit for you, like, is gone, dude. I can no longer give you any benefit of the doubt here. Like, the two people, dude.
Alan is a lolly. No can do. Alan is underage. Does that mean Nux is grooming Alan? What's going on
Bro, they
here?
even made jokes about it. No, 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 no,
To Red's recollection, Alan was around 19 at the
Now,
time.
Nux, you better be like, you better have some like strong fucking like defense on this,
In
dude.
this tweet, they claim to be 19 in 2019. So if they're telling the truth here, they would have been 18. Another former member believed Alan to be around 21. According to Red's recollection, no one on the server
Okay, so
genuinely
maybe he
believed
lied.
Alan was underage.
Well, which is always a consideration, right? Maybe they lied, but let's say that they're lying, right? They need to be removed from the server, period.
These statements about Nux grooming Alan or Nux calling Alan a lolly are simply jokes. Very optically bad jokes, but jokes nonetheless. While I'm not sure about Alan's exact age, they were clearly an adult. Alan has unfortunately deleted their Discord account,
Okay.
which makes it hard to determine.
All right, so we can put that one up on the shelf because they seem to have been an adult, but joking about being minor. I think what he's implying here is that they joked about being a minor, but they didn't do anything about it, right? Which is problematic.
Which messages are his, but we can still tell if it's him talking thanks to context clues. Here Taku mentions that Megumin from Konosuba is best girl. Alan points out that she is 14 years old. Another deleted user, who I assume is Zack, asks Alan about another character called Taiga. There's two deleted users talking here, so how can we tell them apart? Alan.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting like fucking like PTSD when I hear Nux, Taku, and Taiga in the same sentence. I'm like, I swear to God, dude. I swear to God, dude. Do not get me
Must
started.
be one of them because their name is mentioned. So this one must be Zack. One of them mentions the age of consent in Romania being 15, so that must be Alan. Zack uses
And we're back.
capitalization
Oh my
while
God,
Alan
please,
doesn't.
no more, dude.
That's how we know that it was Alan
Poor
who
Taiga. Poor fucking Taiga, dude.
said, "Who cares? If she can count, then she ready to mount."
This is Hassan taking more shots at Nux Taku in his week-long feud with me while defending his bro tips past. Alright, I never brought up his bro tips past because I felt like it was so long ago it's not worth it, but he's bringing up like random shit from forever ago and warping it into calling me a pedophile for
That's
insane
gross.
reasons. Did you know?
Yeah, and again, chat, I'm not going to be touching on lolly stuff. There's probably we should do a whole conversation about that one day, but I'm very hesitant to do it because everybody just wants to like murder each other mid-conversation, so...
In his bro tips past, he had a famous quote where he said, if she's old enough to count, she's old enough to mount.
Come back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time. Old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark?
If that's not pedophile behavior, I don't know what is.
When Hassan said that in 2013, he was playing a character, and he was asking it, not flat out stating it like Alan did. We can see Nux Taku right here.
I mean, this is... honestly, this part is not really that important, but it's kind of gross to add to the context, right? But again, it's also Hassan, so I'm like, oh my
Not
God.
condemning those words
I really
at
don't want
all.
to talk about
So
Hassan.
he either used to not care about pedophile behavior, didn't think that it was pedophile behavior, or his attack on Hassan is knowingly deceitful. There's a difference between waifu and best girl.
I get what
Waifus
he's
are
poking at.
mountable,
I get what he's
so
poking
therefore
back
the
here.
best girl isn't. However, the art of the best girl is lolly inclusive. Nux is using that word in the petite
No,
anime
I mean, there's no
character sense.
defense to it,
Not-
right, Micro? It's just kind of like... I don't know. I don't think that's like the main point of this whole video, right? Like, there's much worse stuff to talk
the
about.
cartoon CP sense. Nux's stance on
It's just
personally
another
not
check-
being into lolly hentai
check
has
mark
been
added
consistent
to
for
the
years.
list.
But it didn't stop him from posting it
It's
onto
gross
YouTube.
to say, right?
Then
It's
Alan
absolutely gross
says,
to say.
lollies are very mountable. Nuxtaku responds, "You're terrifying, Alan," and moves on. This was 12 days before Nux gave Alan that shout out on his channel. So Alan saying things like this didn't seem to be a problem to him.
And he takes the edge out of edgy.
Look at this art. This art is better. And it's Alan posting a comic about some boy kissing his dog. I wish I would be able to
What
get
the
sick
fuck?
from stuff like this again. By the way, don't ask why do I have that. Why do you have that? Red sent it to me. He always sends me
What
fucked up
the
shit like
fuck?
this.
What the fuck? So Red and Alan were in correspondence with each other. A minor was sending this to you, and you did nothing about it either.
That guy's a
What
sociopath,
the
I tell
fuck,
ya.
dude?
Red shows up and claims Alan is the one who sent it, and shows a screenshot from their DMs. Wow, you resort to Photoshop to make me look bad? Shame. Red shares another screenshot, showing some
That
of Alan's
person is
earlier
just as
messages.
morally
People have
reprehensible.
no shame, shake my head. Also, I hope someone at school sees you watching this. Is that Minecraft? Yes, I'm 15. Deal with it. Oof,
Absolutely
I feel
horrible.
old. He's literally the youngest guy here. I am the youngest? Oh, he is. Makes sense. Yep.
They all fucking knew, dude.
Red is 15-year-olds personified. Huh, I'm still underage. So, cause you're talking to me, you are all technically pedophiles. Not me. Yup. Remember, the age of consent in Romania is 15, so I can smack your ass all I want. It's
What
only
the
been
fuck?
26 minutes since the last time Alan brought up the Romanian age of consent. Alan would make similarly inappropriate comments about Red on the 16th
This
of
is
December.
gross, dude.
But let's return to October 8th. You are willing to send me the most fucking disgusting shit you have. I only send it to you because you're 15. Exactly. Nobody else.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody else would because they're not fucking horrible people. Oh my god. This is a hard watch, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. This is really. Yeah, I need to like take like a long fucking shower after this shit.
Would. I initially planned to traumatize you because you were acting tough, but I underestimated you.
And
Who, me?
Nux, you
I'm not tough.
you can't tell
I
me you
guess
didn't see
edgy
part of
instead
this, right?
tough. I am edgy. Not that tough though. Yeah, I got that. I need to train you to become tough. Okay. At this point, Nux, Taku, or the moderators should be intervening and investigating what's happening
Absolutely.
in the DMs between Alan and Red.
Yep,
However, they wouldn't
they are guilty of negligence at best, right?
be any moderators or rules on the server until
Oh yeah, no one's so
2020.
concerned.
In late 2019, the server was raided by gore spammers multiple times, and Nux Taku did nothing about it. What finally made him appoint moderators is when his patrons pulled their pledges. This is one of his own newly appointed moderators saying it at the time. According to Red, on the first day they joined the server, Alan spammed their DMs with a bunch of gore and NSFW content. There are multiple
That's
instances
horrible,
of
dude.
Red
For a fucking child.
Alan publicly mentioning Alan sending gore to Red. Here's one from October 6th. On October 14th, Alan mentioned showing his personal collection to Red. On January 1st, 2019, Alan actually posted a gore image into the voice chat channel and pinged Red. In February 2019, Red reacted to a meme by saying, I can take pictures of men's penises being cut in half, but this is too much even for me. It was a gif and just a tip. Yeah, but dramatic effect, Alan. Shake my head. The message below contains nudity, and if we go one message further, we can see a message from Nux Taku. Alan having a fascination with gore seemed to be pretty well known on the server. One regular user made this meme about the various quirks of the other regular members. Alan's comedic summary was, posting extreme mutilation pics. Notice that Nux Taku was pinged on this message. Sending this kind of material to a minor is very harmful and a crime, and it's being...
I'm about to say, it's deplorable, it's horrible, it's a crime. What else is there to like put on the checkmark list?
5 months.
Literally, they said they were gonna groom this kid, and nobody did anything. Especially Nux.
Nux Taku has done nothing. Red would sometimes ask
Alright,
Alan
Nux,
to send him things.
where's your defense on
Send
this
me the
one,
most
dude?
fucked up shit you have. Look for it yourself. I want my friend to know you are worse than the dark web. Soyboy here is another adult user and also a small anime creator. He already knows that Red is underage.
Yeah, it actually does get
Despite
worse, by
this,
the way.
He asks Red if he can send them something truly disturbing. Okay, Soy, send it to me. BT? Come on. I expected at least Nugget. If you don't know what that word means, don't look it up. Alan proceeds to drop codes to some extremely obscene comics. Thanks, Alan. Soy, I am extremely disappointed. Red, you scare me. That is actual animal rape and murder. I know. How is that not the most fucked up thing? Alan sent me a video of a man getting his head off by a machete. Real life, of course. Nux Taku was pinged about something off topic immediately after that message, but it didn't show up. After getting Nux Taku to create the NSFW channel,
I need like bleach and like to wash myself clean of what the fuck I'm listening to. Ashton, welcome in, sweetheart. I am so sorry this is your first stream here because we are talking about something recently that happened here when Nux Taku was alleged to have allowed a minor in a not safe for work server. They did no moderation and this kid was exposed to all of these horrible things. Welcome in. I'm so sorry. This is the one you popped in on.
Red suggested making a Not Safe for Life channel for Alan, to which Alan said, I wouldn't make Naxtaku watch something like
Jesus
that. You, on the
Christ.
other hand, can get
I
it.
appreciate that,
Naxtaku's
Ashton. Well,
nowhere
hopefully
to be
you...
seen, but then Soy Boy mentioned
Can we go back to the
animation
death battle? Can
claimed
we talk about the death battle? Good
in one of
lord,
his
dude.
videos. Naxtaku replies to him with advice, once again showing how close he was to seeing these warning signs.
Holy,
Beyond conditioning Red into
this is fucking horrible. This is like the deepest depths of
tolerating
deplorable.
extremely shocking and obscene imagery, Alan also encouraged them to drop out of school. On Tuesday, October 9th, Red mentioned skipping school to binge watch anime. Alan cheers them on and says that skipping school is badass, and that he's doing it as well, because he's a badass like Red. On October 10th, Naxtaku pings
Let's
various
encourage
users,
this child to watch all of these horrible life-scarring things and also, ruin their fucking dreams and future, right, by skipping school.
including Red, to inform them that he finished reading the Black Clover manga all in one day. School got cancelled for the rest of the week for me because the head teacher got so I shall be around lots. Words like head teacher and school are used by children, not college students. Another clear red flag.
That's true. That's true. I think with all the context clues, I can pretty much just say with great certainty that Red, with great certainty is a minor, right? I think we can all agree on that. Chad, do you agree that Red is a minor? With all the context clues and everything else we've seen, I'm a loss of words, beautiful model, strange content, it seems. Yeah, it's beyond strange. It's disgusting stuff. We do talk a lot about serious topics here. We are talking VTuber news today. This one has to do with Naxtaku. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Yeah, Red is redacted, by the way. We're not talking about Red Club. Red is the redacted person.
That Red is a minor, right in Nox's face.
And just type yes or no.
What?
Let me
Go
know
to
how you
sleep,
feel.
Kid. Another clear
You think
indication
he is a minor,
that
say
Red
yes.
is a
If
minor.
you don't, say no.
Yeah, lol. 176 chapters in a day. This is 5 days before Red got Naxtaku to create the NSFW channel. If you're worried about that stabbing story, it's something that Red made up at the time. On Thursday, October 11th, Red mentions having skipped 4 days of school to binge anime. Another user cheers him on. School is a waste of time. On Monday, October 15th,
Cinder Dog
Red
PTSD. Stop mentioning Red, please. We need to talk about Red enough,
about
dude.
joining a VC because there's a lot of people
I'm tired of reading the
but he
name
says
Red.
that
I never
school
want to
starts in
see
30
the
minutes.
color and name
Alan
Red
once
ever
again
again.
encourages Red to skip school. On Thursday, October 18th, Red asks
Very
Alan
fucked
for
up.
advice.
I mean, guys, this is actually. Hold on, let me look up something. Wait, can you? Let me look at this. Hold on. Okay, the practice of preparing or training somebody for a particular purpose or activity. They're grooming this kid, with all of these horrible, life-scarring bits of, gore and pornography and stuff. But also, they're grooming him to skip, like, school, right? Like, they're literally training this kid to be involved in adult stuff that he should have no business in doing, right? Yeah, so I wanted to make sure for sure, Walk. I didn't want to misspeak.
On how to lie to their parents to get out of school. Anyone here a good liar? Alan makes multiple suggestions. On October 30th, Red pinged Alan because he wants to speak to someone that he trusts. Red mentions having the problem of no longer going to school. Alan asks if they quit like a badass mad lad, once again encouraging Red to drop out of school. On December 9th, Violet asks, are you guys students or out of school?
Did you have something to say, Darth? Apparently, you wanted to stop me to read it. I feel sorry for the children in Nux. It's Discord because these children be scarred for life with this disgusting behavior from Nux. We don't speak about my predecessor, boyfriend manager Red here. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Red ever again.
School. Alan says he and Red dropped out. Red says that Alan inspired
I hope
him.
that's not the truth.
On January 4th, 2019, Red once
I hope
again
that's not the
says he
truth.
quit school.
Bart, thank you for the 100
He
bits.
doesn't care about it anymore. On April 10th, 2019, Red described themselves as a 15-year-old dropout. Alan shows up and says, agreed, and that's coming from an older dropout. So how did Red manage to drop out of school? Let's go to February 2019. Red is talking to Bex, who seems to be having some form of breakdown caused by opiate withdrawals. Many of Beck's messages actually mention them being addicted to drugs, spending all their
that's
money on
horrible.
drugs, and having various mental illnesses. Please keep
That's
that
true.
in mind when passing judgment about what I'm going to show next. I might be overly cautious here because YouTube does not like when certain things are discussed, such as SH.
Here we go, chat. Just make sure, you know, a little trigger warning here, but actually, I'm gonna stretch a second. Hold on, I need a second. This is can we have like a cleansing break? Like, oh my god. Why did I come back? Why did I come back? I'm going away. I'm walking away. Why my balls? Don't look at my balls. Don't look at my balls. I'm not balls. Don't look at me. Don't look at my my eyes. Stare at the ball, chat. Stare at it. Look into the ball. No, I'm in the shadow realm again, fuck. No, let me out of here. Let me out of the shadow realm, chat. I don't want to be in here. Not the mirror dimension.
Don't stop loving on the nuggets, nuggets. So good that you wanna hug it, hug it. Don't stop loving on the nuggets, nuggets. And living the dream.
I really want to get the chicken nugget, but I can't reach it because of the fucking mirror dimension. I can't get over there. I just want a chicken nugget. Please. Give me the chicken. I can't reach it. I can't get up. Let me out of here. I can't give any chicken nuggets. Yay, chicken nugget time. Oh my god, yes. I wanted a chicken nugget and they're gone. Fuck. God damn it, Chad. I just wanted one chicken nugget. Damn it. The worst day of my life, bro. For real. What? Why do we have a hype train? Elara is sick of my shit. Can't blame her. And people on the internet criticize me because of my WoW guild is only 2+. Don't care how good you are to give me a reminder entry in my guild. Yeah, absolutely.
Where the fuck are your parents?
It's time to stop. Oh shit, hold on, wait, let me get back over there. She mocks my people, the clown people.
Back to that photograph.
I thought we gave up on the photograph, chat. I thought we were done with the photograph. Damn it. I thought we were done with this shit. We gave up on this for so long. We haven't redeemed that in forever. I thought we were done, dude. I thought we were done. Yo, what's up, Frosted? How are you? I know it's been a crazy one. So, guys, so let's get back into it again. How about you look at this chick in the shins? Yeah, how about that? Yeah, what about that? You want me to bite your toes? Actually, I don't want to see your toes. Don't answer that. How funny I'm a follow. Welcome to the chaos, dude. We always have pure fucking chaos here all the time. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. I know we had a nice little break there. It was wonderful. Let's get back into it. Hey, guys, I got a gift. Tell me a state in 1 or 2. What in the fuck is happening? Very normal stream. Very normal stream. We needed that. We needed that.
And in this exchange,
yeah, we
knowing
needed
that in
that.
the presence of a minor, Bex explains how
Yeah,
it
trigger
works
warning, guys.
and basically makes it sound really cool. Red mentions having used SH to manipulate their parents into letting them quit school. Really? That's impressive. Red expressed that they
That's
felt
horrible.
like a terrible person for doing it, how it felt, and they mention only doing it twice, to which Bex says, "Psh, imagine only doing it twice. I decided to stop before I couldn't."
This is a fucking minor, chat.
Real sad boys have on their thighs. Red then reveals
I have
that
no
they
idea,
put their
Mist.
upper arm a lot of
That's
times.
a good question.
Bex comments, "Ooh, nice." Again, this was a very irresponsible way to talk about these things with a minor.
Absolutely.
I don't have any experience or knowledge.
At the end of the day, right? Like, Nux, that's his server. You're responsible for what goes on there, right? You're responsible for employing admins to make sure that it is run well. The buck stops here, right? You're in charge of it.
Of how SH works, but Red claims that this needle stuff apparently happened way before they joined the server, but they claim that it was not enough to cause the effect, which makes SH addictive. Based on their comments from back then, there was clearly a unique sensation there, but again, I don't know for sure. Red claimed that the first time they did it for real was on October 31st, 2018. They had a fight with their family, which led to them dropping out. On the day before, Red asked Alan for advice on how to get over their fear.
I mean, obviously the kid has problems, but can we go back to the fact that these adults are doing nothing about it, just continuing to interact with this child like it's not even a problem?
Of the pain of SH. I'm not sure if Alan is jokingly suggesting that Red should try flipping, as in juggling knives, or if he should try using a folding knife, and he used the word flipping by mistake. Red seemed to interpret it as a suggestion for a type of knife, and asks if he could use a kitchen knife. If you cut yourself, you'll realize the pain is pretty whatever. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. If we scroll down a bit, we can see the exchange where Red asked Alan to talk about the problem of no longer going to school. They hadn't actually dropped out yet. That would happen soon.
Yeah,
after
I
the
mean, something is
31st,
wrong with
when the
everybody in
SH
this
first
server,
occurred.
period.
Red would eventually
Really
develop
interacting
an
with
addiction to
minors.
it. In February 2019, we can see Red mention
I don't
that he
blame you,
talks to the
Pepper.
least people in real life on the server. I have
All right, catch up really quickly. This is Nux Taku's second server, which involves not safe for work stuff. And also this child, the Red here, that is highlighted in red, has admitted multiple times he is a minor. He talks like a minor, so we're very much under the impression he is actually a minor. Has admitted he's 15 multiple times. Everybody that's an adult and everybody else that's in the server is basically just spamming him prawn, gore. They're also encouraging him to quit school, all kinds of other horrible things. Literally groomed into self-harming and dropping out of school. I like the absolute like best case scenario out of this. It's actually worse than that. Thank you so much for the bits, y'all. Thank you for the hype train. Yo, I mean, you came in at a strange time. It's a deep one today, but I hope you're doing well.
talked to 3 different people in real life in the last month. 5 months after joining the server, they've dropped out of school, they are self-harming, and they've become socially isolated.
If all of this is
Despite
true, right?
Alan constantly behaving in an inappropriate, abusive, and downright criminal manner towards
Yep.
Red perceived him as trustworthy. Red saw Alan as a good friend, bestest friend, and the reason why they haven't committed. We have already established that the odds that Taku didn't
absolutely
know
horrible.
that Red was a minor are
Absolutely
super
horrible,
low.
chat.
The further we looked, the more examples we saw of messages that must have been in Taku's line of sight that would indicate to any reasonable person that Red is a minor,
Yep.
or that Alan.
I agree. You know, there is a argument to be made about a reasonable person, and I would say absolutely. If I was in those shoes, right, as a Discord moderator, I would have immediately taken action. There is enough in here to suggest that they are minor. And even if you joke about that, you should still take action.
Alan is sending some weird stuff to him. Nuxtaku was also familiar with Alan. They've talked a lot, he's mentioned him lots of times, they hung out in VCs, and he gave Alan a shout out on his channel. But did Nuxtaku know about the other part of Alan's reputation? Check this out. On January 16th of 2019, Alan posted a bait and switch video into the general chat channel. The thumbnail shows a naked woman, but when the video is played, it switches to a video containing stuff like this. Despite the warnings given by other members to not look at it,
I don't even want to
Red can be
fucking know.
seen giving their
I don't even
reaction
want to
to
know
the
what the
video.
fuck that means.
You can take that as a
But I'm assuming it's pretty
corroboration for my
horrible.
testimony of what the video is. Violet said that Alan should be banned. Nuxtaku was then pinged because Alan did something bad. Nux shows up and says, "Wow, didn't see that one coming," and he then leaves. He took no action.
That's it! Nux! What the fuck, dude?
He didn't delete the video or punish Alan.
And
or
that's
anything.
crazy, bye.
Again, that was January of 2019. Nuxtaku would still have Alan on the Rant Cafe podcast in July and August.
Absolute what the fuck?
Next, we also, believe it or not, have Alan Wiebes himself.
Hi there. Sorry, I'm the replacement for Animac Forever. He's dead now. I killed him. So you're gonna have to get accustomed to my presence from now on.
Despite everything that was happening for months, Nuxtaku publicly endorsed this guy and presented him to his audience as this harmless, funny troll guy. When I asked Red about these old messages concerning their personal situation at the time, they said it was the beginning of probably the darkest period in their life. The good news is that they stopped self-harming in 2021. They went into a dropout rehabilitation program, and they are now working on
Wow, so sometimes when people say stuff, right, you don't know how true it is, but it turns out that this guy did actually, he was self-harming and dropped out. I mean, that's horrible,
university degree.
That's horrible.
To clarify some things, I reached out to Red because I
For
saw
years.
their post on the Discord from years ago. They didn't reach out to me, no one tipped me off about them, I discovered them myself. I haven't conducted any in-depth interview with this person. I would just send them questions every now and then and laid out this timeline and asked for their thoughts. They described it with
the
the
proof
words,
is right there,
all
chat.
of that is accurate to my knowledge. They don't remember anyone on the server really recommending them to seek help. When I asked about how they felt about Alan's behavior, they recognized that it was inappropriate towards a 14-year-old, but they don't believe he had any sexual grooming intention or meant what he was doing in that manner.
It doesn't matter. He's still a minor. Why are you exposing him to that stuff? Like, what the fuck?
They also mentioned Alan being very troubled at the time, which, based on Alan's messages, assuming he isn't lying, seems to be true. Based on the logs I've shown, it's tempting to conclude that the influences that Red was exposed to through Nuxtaku's unmoderated Patreon Discord server led to them dropping out of school at age 14 and getting into SH. The timeline laid out by the messages and by Red's testimony does support the idea, but to actually determine if that's the underlying reality would require further investigation. However, regardless of the actual consequences, allowing people to encourage or praise this kind of behavior in the first place is already insane.
That's so sad.
What is clear is that Red was repeatedly
that
exposed
poor
to
kid's
extremely
life
obscene
ruined.
NSFW content and gore on the server, and that Nuxtaku made the NSFW channel because
I just noticed something as well, chat, which is really fucked up. Take a look at this. Not safe for work content, lad. Stuff you shouldn't show to your boss, parents, or young. I mean, they acknowledge that there's something here that they're saying, or young, whatever, right? So there's already acknowledgement that there shouldn't be young people, whatever this extra stuff is. Period, right? So it's already acknowledged right here as the description for the channel.
NSFW content and gore on the server, and that Nuxtaku made the NSFW channel because Red requested it, and then accepted more money from them. If Nuxtaku was too busy to moderate the server properly, it's not like he was totally unfamiliar with the concept of moderators. If he was, the 16th message on his Discord server was a user recommending him to designate moderators, to which Nux responded, "Indeed." One of the basic responsibilities of a Discord server operator is to make sure that children are not exposed to adult content on their server.
Yep.
By allowing
I mean, that's
Red
just
on the
everywhere,
server
dude.
and allowing
That's
them to be exposed
that
to
is
all
the
of these
responsibility
harmful
as an
influences,
adult.
based on my estimation, Nuxtaku made $46. Not only did he fail to carry out that basic responsibility, he made money from neglecting it, something which would eventually become a core element of his success. If you remember, the Chris Tyson server closed its NSFW channel in January 2019, before the server went public. Nuxtaku's Patreon NSFW channel is still open in 2026. There is
Good
no
Lord,
age
dude.
verification process,
It's just sitting
and
there.
anyone with $1 can join in. The channel hasn't had a new post since 2024, but it was still active when Nuxtaku was casting judgment on Eva Tyson. It's probably good to point out that Nuxtaku and Eva Tyson were both born in 1996. Tyson in July and Nuxtaku in February. Nuxtaku is a few months older than Tyson, but he was making demonstrably worse mistakes at the same age, and continued to make those mistakes for years
with
afterwards.
the Discord ID
There is
team,
no
like
evidence
the
for Tyson
Discord
ever
ID
grooming
team.
anyone on the server, but her career was still destroyed by the controversy, something which
I guess he's
Nuxtaku
29.
shared
I
on.
don't know.
And with that,
It
I
seems like
conclude
it.
the first part of our dive into
The first
Nuxtaku's
part.
history. In the next part, I'll show the dishonest ways in which he has defended
Yeah, I mean,
his
walk.
past
That's like
content.
that's like putting a band-aid on like, you know, a fucking like half your arm is missing. Oh yeah, put a band-aid on it. Like
to his
it
new
just it doesn't
religious
even matter.
right-wing audience. An audience that
Yeah,
he's
first part.
attracted by saying stuff like this.
Banning our books. They're firing. They're not banning your books. They just don't want them in schools teaching children and grouping them. There's a big difference between banning books and not wanting to show sexualized, pornographic, grouping material to kids. There's a big difference, actually. This dude is like, I
The
cannot
irony is
believe
not
they're
lost on
banning
me.
our porn from the schools. All I want to do is show sissy, hypno, transgender porn to 7-year-olds. And society does not let me. All right, so you have the interracial gay couple. Those move. Raising.
Yeah, what happened to Nux, dude? I mean, like, what happened to him?
A kid.
For your two biggest fans.
And this is a boy in a tiara and a skirt. I'm telling you, it's grooming. It's so obviously grooming. It's so obviously grooming, man.
my God.
Students growing up with free thoughts and with critical.
I'm gonna stop here because this is just a clip compilation of Nux, right? And I have no other things to add to this whole situation other than chat Nux's own words. Let's take a look at how Nux decided to respond to this video, chat. Here we go. This is the 2 minutes and 23 seconds video here of him responding to the stuff. So here you go, guys. Here's his defense. Give him a chance to defend himself. Here we go. I don't know how he's going to defend himself at all, but...
And this video was,
Here we go.
It was like a 10-year anniversary. This was not like some apology, whatever. Anywho, and also, valid statement. I was right.
You couldn't imagine. You don't need to.
All right.
Red joined the server on September 7th. On day 1, they openly declared themselves to be 14 years old.
I didn't know about this.
They would later claim to be 15.
But oh my gosh, just because you didn't know about it doesn't mean that you're not responsible for it. You're still responsible for it. And there is a limit where you can be like, oh, I didn't know about this. Like, dude, there's so many times it was in your face. How did you not know? Yeah, either way, it's like you're lying or you were completely negligent. You know, like you're still responsible at the end of the day.
But as they
I didn't know about this.
openly stated, they were lying about their age. Red was
So they were lying about their age.
born in 2000.
Yeah. So, look, man, I don't know how a minor even got into this Discord server because, as I'm sure he mentioned this in the longer video, I'm not trying to say that he tried to slander me on purpose over here, but this was a Patreon server. For those of you that are unaware, Patreon servers are inherently 18 plus because if you want to become a patron, if you want to join a creator's membership as a patron or provide membership as a creator, you must be at least 18 years old or have permission from parent or guardian. All right.
There you go. He could have easily bypassed it by having permission from a parent or guardian. Like, the burden is still on you, right? Like, yes, I understand that's what it says. And clearly he bypassed this, right? I 100% agree, but you were still responsible nonetheless. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're at least 18 years old or have permission. You only need to be 13 to make an account. You're still responsible, dude.
Quite literally, that obviously didn't happen. This was inherently an 18+ Discord server. So if someone lied or stole their mom's credit card, or their mom let their kid join a Discord server from a guy that was making more, adult-focused content on my YouTube channel, that is the parents' fault.
Dude, I do understand what you're saying, right? Like, yes, it is a problem that the parents allowed this shit to happen, but you're still responsible because they admitted that they're minors in there. Oh my god. On top of that, too, it literally says permission from a parent or guardian. Like, yeah, you're still partially responsible.
Okay? Just to be clear, again, I'm really sorry if...
Like, how hard is it for you just to remove them from the server when you find out that they were a minor? Because they said it multiple times.
A bad thing happened to any person in any of my servers. Obviously, that's disgusting and horrible. However, it was an 18+ server. That's one. And two, also important to mention, this not safe for work tab.
But there was no stuff like in place, right? Like it doesn't seem that way. Maybe there was like a verification, etc. Right? But you still, as a human being, is your moral responsibility to remove minors from adult spaces, right? So, especially in this context.
That ended up this channel, this not.
You're supposed to moderate your server, dude.
I don't think I should have ever done that. That was definitely a mistake on my part. I'm not trying to say it wasn't, but 2018, 8 years ago, I guess didn't think about it clearly enough. This server was removed. This channel with the not safe for work thing was removed really quickly.
Yeah, so the rules say what, 16 plus? Well, no, it says like right here about, fictional characters.
After it was made, I think, if I remember correctly. And even more importantly, this also had an age verification. You needed to click that you were 18 plus to join this channel in the server. All right. So, anywho, the point that I'm trying to make is, yeah, I fucked up by having a not safe for work server. I definitely regret that. But yeah, all right, calling me a pedophile for this is insane levels of slander.
I understand that the parents, maybe they approved this, right? Maybe they gave him their credit card or he had an allowance or whatever, and subscribed to Patreon. And yes, if there was something where you had to click on it, right? But the second that the second that you find out that they are a minor, yes, they went through these steps to bypass that. And that is on them and the appearance as well. But you are responsible to remove them from your server. Responsibility does fall on you as well. You know what I mean?
Another thing important to note, a lot of people...
But that's kind of where it ends right there. I mean, like, you were partially responsible for it, right? Like, yes, opening up a not safe for work server, you might feel like it's wrong, but... again, so he goes on to just to say, like, didn't see multiple times, etc., right? And it's like, I just have a hard time believing that with all the proof in the last video. Like, this is a major fuck-up, dude. This is a huge, huge fuck-up. Of course, Nick Andrews talks about Nux's response. He says, Nux Taku has addressed my videos watched stretching of the truth, and it's been the most insane defamation of all time. Oddly enough, he claims I was calling him a pedophile for 1.5 hours, but I never called him a pedophile in my video a single time. Here's a funny story. My video is supposed to be 25 minutes longer, but I cut that stuff off to release a video near Nexus 30th birthday. That 25 minutes is what part 2 would be. Debunking the lies where he is told to justify his old content or obfuscate its nature. And his new response, he recycled basically every point that I already have debunked. So my response to him will be a very nasty ride, and it's going to be a very nasty wake-up call. You can't spend 70% of your response to my video talking about why Hassan Piker is bad. Don't have the ability to ignore and hide away from me anymore. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Look, when somebody makes a video and they're like, oh yeah, expose, this person is horrible, right? Normally, half the time, guys, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I'm sure you're gonna be like, so anyway, they call me a pee-pee poo-poo head, and that made me feel bad. Like, normally they're like that, right, chat? But this one is completely fucking different. This one actually has solid proof in it. It's showing a lot of times where you were completely negligent. It's gross stuff, dude. Like, Nux, you gotta take responsibility on this one, dude. You fucked up bad. You fucked up bad. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like he laid out a strong case, and dude, I remember when this came out, right? I'm like, who the fuck is Nick Andros, right? So like, I started digging. I'm like, well, he's newer. Okay, well, he doesn't have established trust, but he also doesn't have established bias either. So I was more willing to hear him out, and I'm like, nah, he did his stuff. He did his stuff. At best, Nux was completely negligent, chat. This is bad. This is bad. I think that this is gonna blow up a lot more. I'll be honest, this video came out very recently, right? It came out just 2 days ago, right? It's only garnered 66,000 views. I think this is gonna blow up a lot more. I just don't see how there's a defense to this, to be honest. Like, there's clearly you ignored multiple signs. You interacted with them a lot. Yeah, I think you're cooked, dude. I think you're cooked. I'm just gonna give it to you. I think you're cooked. So, chat, what do you think about this? What's your thoughts? Do you think that Nux is cooked? Do you think he's not cooked? What do you think, chat? What are your feelings about this? I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think he was very negligible. Negligence is the least bad thing. Right, exactly. Yeah, like, that's the least bad thing, like I said, right? At best, he was just negligent. At worst, you know, there's very stronger allegations. Yeah, I think this is really bad. I'm interested to see the Nux, like, orbiters, what they will decide to do after this, but this is very strong evidence, so very, very strong evidence. I'll let you guys know what goes on in the future. I don't really know. You know, maybe Nux has a defense for this that we haven't seen yet. I have no idea, but we'll find out, guys. So, to be continued, to be continued. At least, so I did want to give you a little bit more of some IRL news before we wrap it up for today. I think I'm going to talk about my tech tone stuff a little bit later, but I did want to talk about you know, what was going on here. No. Let me make sure I say this correctly, right? Or restate it right. At best, it's negligence. At worst, yeah, it's grooming. Reputation was already bad, but this was on a whole new level. Yeah, I'm very shocked by this, to be honest. I feel like, no, the next part has not come out. Part 2 has not come out yet, but I do feel like that. I feel like Nux has been on like this decline for a while, and this just like for me like put the nail in the coffin, you know. Nah, there's no sorry here, dude. Like, you're gonna have to own up to some stuff. This is rough. This is rough, dude. So, guys, what I wanted to talk about with you guys today, just two quick, really quick topics here. As you guys remember, guys, Amaru actually came under fire back on the 6th here, where, of course, somebody asked her for her thoughts on ICE, and she said, like, hey, like, if you're a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics and tell you about politics, you likely need to get off the internet. Well, a lot of people were trying to force Amaru's opinion about it. I felt like I was like, hey, like, nobody has to tell you their opinion, right? You can be active behind closed doors, etc., right? However, Amy actually decided to share a statement about this, which I thought was very... I was not expecting this. So anyway, let's take a look at what she had to say, chat. I owned up to what he needed 2 years ago. Sorry you were in the loop. I mean, Nigma, what? How are you going to defend against this, though? You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy, dude. Every time he sees consequences, instead of listening, Nux falls in the comfort of worse people who tell him, was it wrong? I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm like a Nux Taku, like, connoisseur or a Nux Taku, like, historian, but, I mean, this right here, dude, is just, it's absolutely deplorable. So Amy goes on to say a few things here. Let me see if I can get my TTS working, because it's being stupid again. Easily, lots of adults sound like children when they talk online because that's the only time they are immature. The kindness of is a child because you can read a text message is horribly unusable. However, Nigma, and let's say that's true, right? Let's say that benefit of the doubt is there, right? That they were not, right? Even though they sounded it and said that they were, right? You have the responsibility as an adult, if somebody says, oh, they're 14, to remove them from a server, period, right? That's why I give you a wide range of best and worst, right? At best, he was negligible. At worst, this is grooming, right? And it can fall somewhere in between, but if you have an adult on the server and somebody says, I'm this age, you have a responsibility to remove them, period. That is 100% indefensible. The negligence he admitted to and deal with many years ago, I mean, unless there's another part in his coverage here, he did not admit to any negligence in this video. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing here where he admitted to being negligent. And even, let's say he admitted it, right? That still doesn't take away from the severity of your actions that tied to the negligence, right? So yes, you can admit to it, but it doesn't take away from the actual action of doing it, right? You have an action, you suffer consequences from it, right? I don't want to Hassan try to, sure, and I'm sure he has his own stuff with Hassan, right? But all he said was regrets making it in Nazi Boy channel, not what was in it, right? And again, right, like even if you have admitted to this negligence, right, that still doesn't take away from the fact that you exposed this minor to all of these things, right? Or at best, let's say they were actually a minor, which, looking at everything, I don't know how you could ignore all the context clues and be like, they weren't a minor, but let's just go along with your hypothetical. Why would you not remove somebody that says that they are a minor from your server, right? You clearly did run your server with any type of actual moderation, and then you own that, right? That's your moral responsibility. But in that case, and it's like to his parents who permitted him to get onto it to begin with, be like blaming a movie theater because apparently lets a child see a PG-13 movie. That is completely different, Nigma. That is a apples to orange comparison. That is a completely different comparison than exposing a minor to gore, prawn, grooming them for self-harm. Yeah, completely different example, my dude. Yeah, PG-13 movie is not showing somebody illegal content. Like, that's completely different. Promise defending like this situation not a good look, man. I think that it's disingenuous to not point out that Nux owns some type of ownership in this, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, PG-13 versus somebody getting beheaded IRL, right? And again, even you know, in this one, right, we could say, oh, his parents approve. We also don't know that as well. He might have had a credit card and just bypassed all this stuff, right? Again, you have a responsibility. For whatever it is, right? As an adult, if there is a minor in your server and you know it, right? You need to remove them, period. It's not a fail to gatekeep. It's a see this is happening, do something about it. 100%. We're seeing from a PG-13 film is somebody saying chip. Completely different from what's discussed and shown in the video. Yeah, I agree. Yes, I do think that some of the blame belongs to the parents, 100%. But some blame belongs to Nux here. And it's just, it's indefensible at this point, you know? Like, he acknowledged that this was going on, right? With parents' permission, you can see rated R movies as well. Do I need to go make a higher rating of the movie to make it make sense? Nigma, why are you tied to rated R movies, dude? Like, they showed a child gore and prawn, dude. They showed him illegal materials. Why are you comparing it to a movie, dude? That's completely different. They showed animal abuse. They showed rape. Like, that. The comparison is not going to work for you, my guy. Like, you know, like, it's you're not even close to the same realm of a comparison. Like, I'm sorry, I'm all for conversation, but you're not engaging in good faith at this point. Which can be seen as city. Okay, yeah, you're on about this movie thing, and I've already explained to you. So I'm just gonna move on, because you're clearly not able to either engage in good faith or you just don't understand. I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, and I'm gonna move on. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. You know, like I don't know what to tell you at this point. For the clip you just showed, when I came in, he did admit it was a failure on his part for not doing better for Jess. What he said was that he shouldn't have made not safe for work server, right? But he definitely deflected it back onto the parents. Like, yes, is it the parents' fault? Yes, but he also owns some of that ownership as well, right? All right, anyway, let's talk about Imru. I'm moving on. So anyway, guys, talking about Amy here, she did talk about what happened with her on her statement about ICE, so she didn't want to talk about politics, etc. So here we go. Okay, fine, Elara, I'll read it. When the clip starts, I was responding to a mod asking a question that, I'm sorry, hello, it's very rare to speak my mind, but I'd rather get my thoughts out. There's apologies if this is long. There's a clip from my stream that's been circulating a lot, but I'd like to explain it for anyone who was hurt or shocked by it. When the clip starts, I was responding to a mod asking a question that included the word ICE. I'm not someone who normally comments or give my opinions on serious world topics. It didn't really click to me that they were referring to the agency. You can see the clip when I say thoughts on ICE. There's an instant cut afterward that makes it seem like I'm responding directly to that question, which I'm not. To clarify, since this has gotten a lot of people speculating about my real thoughts, I should go without saying no one deserves to live their life in fear of being killed or taken away from their homes or families, regardless of who is doing it, but especially not because of ICE or any other government agency. Understand the world is a very cruel and messed up place. You don't have to study politics or actively read the news to know that. I would never want to invalidate anyone who struggles with those things. An agency like that causing fear and suffering deserves zero support. To me, that's not even political. It's basic human empathy. I'm sorry. Let me just hit this button here real quick. Clearly states her thoughts on this, right? I never made comments on stream about ICE in the first place. That was a dishonest and intentionally malicious clip post. Very common thing that clip accounts do to streamers, and becoming more and more common, but it should go without saying no one should have to live their fear or suffer because of who they are, where they're from. This is something that's always been important to me. I tend to try to focus my creative stuff around games and cosplay rather than try to take up room in an environment already populated by misinformation and hatred. Honestly, I thought I might as well bring this up now. It's a very traumatic and personal topic, but that is why I avoid talking about it. I'll never be friends with anybody who abuses anyone, assaults people, or consumes content that enables the abuse of children. I've always been a creator who is friends on good terms with basically everybody. Streamers in Texas and LA, in all different bubbles, and this was unfortunately included some bad actors. A lot of people have questioned how these bad actors found their way into my circle, but it's certainly not because I'm okay with vile behavior. Not abuse, not sexual assault, not pedophilia. These guys did their best to hide their behavior, not only from me, but from everyone around us as long as they possibly could. Guys, I think this is very clear on who she's talking about that she used to run circles with 2 years ago, that she is not engaged with in quite a long time, right? Yeah, and I feel like she did get baited, for sure, Cypher. I think I said that in my last stuff. As serious allegations or evidence come out, I always immediately drop them and vow to never make content with them again. Basically, everyone in Austin did the same. These incidents, multiple of them, of course, were something the streamer community here talked about extensively and affected all of us a lot. I thought actions over words, never interacting with those people again and preventing them from being involved in streamer community activities, a lot of which in Austin are hosted by me, was in a clear message that this type of shit isn't welcome. I suppose maybe that did not make up how I felt clearly. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think the actions speak louder than words. And I think if you read between the lines with her, I think there's a lot that you can tell she stands for, right? But mess, that's what people do. That's what they've done already, right? So, I thought actions over words, never interacting with those people again, and preventing them from being involved in my streamer community activities, what's in that clear message, right? So I think it's pretty clear. Well, hopefully this makes it more clear. Anyone who abuses people or children are not my friend and never will be. Always have been that way and always will continue to be that way. I know this won't stop people from taking issue with the way I do things. I don't expect it to. I'm saying this because I know my comedian friends are fatigued. It's a wrong of a looter model. I don't mind it. If you post on socials, like I'm not going to retweet it or anything like that, but I mean, I don't mind it. I guess it's fine. Like, just don't be weird. I know what's going to happen. I already accept that people are going to do that, right? So, that's pretty much it. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I'll continue doing what I usually do. I just want to finally say something because the speculation and lies were getting out of control. It'll likely continue, but I hope putting my stance out there will help those who already feel unsupported, unsafe, like there's one less person trying to send hatred their way. So, I mean, I feel like this was a solid response, you know what I mean? I thought it was a good response. How do y'all feel about this? So, again, let me play this clip for you.
Like, there's a certain
you can get a little
where I'm like, okay,
context.
sure, I get
just in case you didn't
people
see it.
wanting big content creators to like say
A
their
terrible
opinions
person.
on like important topics. I get that, right? But it's like, if you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need.
I understand what she's saying here, right? Like, non-political streamers trying to inform you about politics is probably not the best source of information, right?
Get off the internet. Like, just stop. Like hello? Like, I don't, like, what? Like, how am I gonna, I don't know.
And this clip went viral, guys. A lot of people wanted her to speak out, be more direct. And because she didn't want to really talk about her share opinion, people berated her for it, right? So I don't think you should ever be forced to talk about something. Again, your feelings of a particular topic, you might be active behind closed doors, right? You might talk about it with your friends. I think it's just a little ridiculous to force somebody to talk about something that they may not be informed about or just not feel comfortable, or a combination of those two, right? Like if you guys came at me and said, Alara, I want you to talk about, the DC universe. I mean, like, guys, I don't fucking know. I can't tell you, right? Like, how am I supposed to inform you about something I don't understand? Or if you said, Alara, tell me about, I don't know, like, the foreign policy back in 1992, bro. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? So I can't talk on something I'm not educated on. Is there basic education you should have on politics? Absolutely. I do agree on that, but forcing her to speak about something she's not comfortable with, that's unfair. So, of course, guys, Casey Tron decides to weigh in on this, saying she was so disgusted about Ice Tectone and Lakari that she had to wait to get in a controversy for not speaking out to speak out. She clarified she thought people were asking about ice cubes. Okay, girls, sure. Yeah, silence is compliance. That's really what people do, but the thing is that people don't understand people are multifaceted, and just because they're not front-facing about something doesn't mean that they can't actually be actioning or talk about something, right? On the one hand, I don't think there should be an issue with audiences wanting to know what their entertainers stand for. At the same time, the nature of how this can be and who it was about that baited her, I'm gonna be real, feels suspect as to why they put her in this situation. I mean, I can understand Red Club if people want to know that stuff, but like, also at the same time, you're not entitled to that. So there's a balance, right? But of course, like, going on to talk about like Tectone and Lakari, right? She's clearly distanced herself from both of them. But I feel like that's in bad faith to say, right? Of course, Diddums, weighs in on it again. Let's just hear what she has to say. Obviously, Diddums is not happy with Emery, right? So, anyway, let's just listen to him. Yeah, you're not owed that opinion of you. If I want to share that with you, I will. If I won't, I won't.
Like, I think the big question in everyone's mind is, well, are you still friends with Asmongold? And people try to deflect that and say, oh, wait, oh, so everyone that you're ever friends with now needs to be disavowed? Well, listen, man, when the people that you're friends with repeatedly go on the same harassment campaigns that you are experiencing a fraction of, and they're...
When is the last time that Emmy did anything with Asmongold? I would like to know that. I think it's a question I'm going to research. When is the last time Amy actually interacted with Asmongold, right? Again, like, I understand the company you keep is important, but the guild by association for everything is so brain dead. Like, come on, let's be real, guys. Do you think that Amy endorses or supports everything Asmon does? Of course not.
Consistently saying all this horrible shit about
I don't
people
know,
getting
Jan.
killed
Like,
by
I have
ICE,
no
all
idea.
the horrible shit, condoning
I don't think so.
and encouraging all the horrible shit that ICE is doing. Like, yeah, I would hope so. Because
I know that
like...
she, remember, she did in the podcast because she didn't want to talk about politics, right? So that was revealed by Asmon. So to me, that already shows that she's like trying to distance from that, right?
Like, listen.
So that to me, that shows action.
Who's a good example? Let me think of a good example. One sec. Let me cook. You know who has said and done some questionable things? NMP. You know who I wouldn't ask people to disavow? NMP. Because
yeah, I'm not even going to touch on Asmon right now. That's a whole separate conversation. Let's keep it on Amy right now. Other than the Asmongold Association, Amy, right?
Platform predominantly for spreading harassment against
I think it was
random
just
people who don't
Staking
deserve
X.
it, and for
That was the last thing,
spreading,
and that was like a year ago.
Sentiment that exclusively makes our country worse. Now, you can personally dislike him. He can give you bad vibes, whatever. Whatever you want. You can think he sucks, but he doesn't purposefully engage in like absolutely horrid behavior online and profit off of it too.
I mean, is there a bit of a question as to why you want to be friends with Asmongold? Yeah, I can see that. I can empathize with that viewpoint, you know? I can see that, but regardless, like, she's clearly shown action of pushing away from that political part of it, and she wants to do her own thing, right? So I'm definitely going to dive into that. I'll let you guys know. This is the part that absolutely cracked me up out of all this, though. Tectone said that he is not part of the group that Emmy was condemning in her most recent statement. Yeah, brother. Okay. Sure thing, dude. Whenever you say Tectone, I'm like, yeah, okay, dude. Sure thing. Yeah, well, whatever you say.
Turn things up. She ain't talking about me. She talking about Lucari and Miz. She ain't talking about me. Okay? Hey, let's keep that shit 100%.
Proof?
That shit ain't about me. Motherfucker, hey, that's about Miz and Lucari. Fucking get the fuck off of me. Get the fuck off of me.
It out.
Everybody's saying, oh, that's you. Fuck no, it's not. Fuck no, it's not. Twitter disagrees with you? Yeah, because that fits their headcanon.
X'd it out. Yeah, X'd it out, dude. I'm gonna be real. X'd it out. If they like did a recent collab or something, I'd feel differently, but yeah, X'd it out on that one. So that is kind of the wrap up on the Imru situation. I'm not gonna I will follow up with you guys because I do want to know about their most recent collab. So I'll let you guys know next time we talk IRL news, because that would be something important to talk about. So one last thing that I want to mention to all of you here. I'm not going to dive into the Tectone follow-up from him coming back. We'll do that next time. But I do want to try to end things on a bit of a high note. And I agree, Jan, 100%, right? You know, there were, right? But also, you got to understand, too, that she's distanced herself as well. So if things like that have happened and they come out, you got to understand, too, that like, those were her friends, right? So it's harder to separate from her, right? And to be fair to Emmy, she has taken actions, as we've seen, to separate from Tectone and Asmon with the Staking X as well. So I feel like she should be getting all the benefit of the doubt. Personally, in my opinion, I feel like she has stood on business and also been very, with her actions, outspoken about how she feels. Like, yeah, you got to read between the lines a little bit, but I'm going to be honest. Like, I feel like she is moved away from a lot of those people. So, but I'll dive into those I'll dive into when the last collab, and I'll let you guys know when that is. Of course, in other news, guys, we need to fucking celebrate because Marky's Iron Lung was #1 in America. That is right, guys.
Iron Lung is the #1 movie in America today. It's the #1 movie. Take that, Sam Raimi. You're gonna need people to send help after Iron Lung comes in and takes it all. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, take that, Hollywood.
It's true. It's true. It actually is. I can say that today, and that might, like I said,
It was really good.
True.
I don't think it was like the best
tomorrow.
movie I've ever
So
seen, but it was good.
I'm gonna say it as much as I can today. I need people to go take the trailer, rip it down, and then try to shove #1 in every possible frame possible. Like when I'm, that shot where the lights are going on, I'm looking to the left, in my eyes, putting #1. Iron.
I love it. I love it. So of course, hitting #1, guys, was absolutely incredible. Continuing here, of course, it opened to $21.7 million at the global box office. Incredible, guys. Production was less than $3 million. So, I mean, more than 7 times its original budget. That's incredible. Which is also really cool, guys, is Scott, the creator of FNAF, actually went to go see Iron Lung, which is crazy, right, guys? I mean, seeing this full circle is such a beautiful thing, right? This user kind of wraps it up. It's really poetic and wholesome that, remember that Mark was the one that got a lot of eyes on FNAF 1? I mean, extremely popular, and now Scott is day 1 for the release of Mark's first major movie, a full circle moment that is honestly really heartwarming. I mean, it is so cool, right? Like, Marky really did blow up FNAF, and it's really cool to see Scott there watching it and supporting it, so very, very beautiful. I love that so much. However, guys, a little bit of bad news, though. Hollywood kind of stiffed Marky a little bit. Yeah, they kind of stiffed Marky a little bit. Let's see what he had to say about it, because they kind of did him dirty, I'm not going to lie.
So this is funny. This is on Friday. The box office numbers. I'm #1, right? I milked it a lot. I said it. It was very
Timmy
funny. I knew
Timmy
the Sam
thinks that
Raimi's
Olivia
movie was
Monroe
gonna
is
pass me eventually
Viewbotting.
by the end of the weekend. But I was like, haha, I'm #1. But then I didn't see this yesterday. But here's Saturdays. So this is Saturday, right? I swear I was on this list. But Iron Lung isn't here anymore.
They just took him off.
There's no numbers for Iron Lung. They took me off the chart. And I thought, hey, maybe that's a fluke. maybe there's something wrong. But here's Sunday. I wake up this morning, which reports the day before's numbers. I'm gone. I'm not even above Hamnet. I'm nowhere. Zootopia's back up here. Avatar's up here. Melania's up here. I feel like I should just, like, maybe I'd be fine with here. I'd be fine with
Hollywood
being on the
hating,
chart.
dude.
Why'd you take me off the chart? I feel like I deserve to be on the chart.
They're jelly, bro. They're jelly of his success. They're jelly. He's so awesome. I don't know, maybe only he had a rebound. He came in from nowhere and showed their BS, so Hollywood is gatekeeping. Yep. Literally, like, undermined, like, a lot of their whole stuff, dude. Crazy. I'm just like, it sucks so much to see them do this to him because he's such a wonderful, amazing creator. And everything that he got was deserved, right? So, I think that it really upsets their... This is a very unprecedented thing, right? Like, for him to come in and just straight, like, smack them down like this is pretty wild. So, I'm very proud of Marky. Go see Iron Lung. Absolutely incredible that he was able to achieve such an amazing heights that he did, right, chat? So, I know other people won't take us seriously as a YouTuber beats us. But, like, the thing is that's okay, dude. Like, that should be assigned to you. Like, oh my god, I should probably, like, do this or do that or kind of rethink how I'm doing other things. Like, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me that you would take that as, like, such a heavy offense. You know what I mean? I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Just being upset about that is actually, like, wild to me. They claimed it was an error, I think. Yeah, I mean, if it was, that's fine too, right? As long as they put it back on there. I did not see that follow-up, though. It really did. They're so threatened by somebody coming in and actually making a really fucking decent movie. Not a surprising. He spent a budget. Like, people wanted to be like, oh, if it's big, you gotta spend big. Fuck that. But also, like, why not explore that as an opportunity, right? Use that as a way to better yourself, right? Like, learn why that did good on a good budget, and then use that for your own movies in the future. Like, it blows my mind, guys. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So, just a good find out which VTuber went mask off. We were talking about, well, we had two things that we were talking about. We were talking about, we talked about Nux, we talked about Dimmy, we talked about Jelly, we talked about Powder, and we talked about Celestium, and we talked about Invented. Those were our big topics today, so. Yeah, look at the positives. Let's go. Good things. Good things, chat. Let's go. All right, cuties. I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know this was not my normal VTuber news day, but we had enough to talk about. And I'm going to be gone on Sunday, so we won't be able to talk then. So thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to go see Emiko. He's doing a Yap Yap collab with a bunch of friendly faces. You guys know him. So let's go hang out with them. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow for speed dating, guys. That's how we got speed dating going on in the morning. So bring your best Riz. I can't wait to see it. So bye, YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Oh, you saw it twice. Nice. It really was that good. Bye, Twitter. See you later. Bye, guys. Have a good rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow.